Do, 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 do. See how this sounds. Okay. All righty. We are ready and popping, brothers. Folks out there. This is MBD. I might pop in and hit you with the dark MBD. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna do that. But hold on a second. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. What's up, everybody? What's up? Let me hit you with some live dark MBD just for the tad bit. Okay, damn, now I can't even see. I can't even see, brethren. Yeah, so what the hell am I trying to do? Am I going here? No. Stay lower layout? No. Mic? No. What the hell am I trying to do in this piece? Oh, there we are. Yeah, there we go. There we go. There we are. Here we are. Here we go. There you go, SKC. Welcome to the party.
What's going on, man? What's up with the surprise?
Sometimes I got to hit you with the surprise. Sometimes a brother got to hit you with the dark side surprise. What's going? Yeah, so I'm here just to keep people on their toes, just a tad bit. Anyways, what's up? So what's going on with you, man?
Oh no, man, just working as usual, man. But I've been seeing all of the emails lately of all the stuff that's been happening on TikTok with the younger brothers. Man, they aren't playing, huh?
Oh no, they're not. Oh no, they're going straight war. It's like a whole nother. It's like a whole nother gender war. They're going straight up. They're going straight hard in the paint. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Divided K, for the super chat there, $2.99. I greatly appreciate it. But yeah, they're going hard in the paint, brother. I mean,
Man, I've been seeing some of these ladies too, man. They be coming out bold, man. They're like, hey, they don't belong to you and all this stuff. I'm like, good grief.
Yeah, I mean, it is off the chain crazy how they don't care no more. You're not going to be able to shame them like you did before. And so, before, you was able to shame them and, scare them. Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know, I didn't know what's going on with your community. Now it's totally different. Now it's like, we don't give a shit. That's not your man. You don't belong to them. You don't own them.
But the wild thing to me is okay, so what's the excuse now? Because these are quote unquote the sons of the community, and they're just making the choice right out. And a lot of them, if you say that they didn't have the whole good father situation and so forth. Okay, well, what would make them make that decision, being brought under the wings of the proverbial daggle, as it were? So I mean, what's the excuse?
There is none. I mean, and it's just crazy. Yeah, the Daggle is raising these guys, and they're seeing the light, and they're like, you know what? Damn that. I don't want to repeat this shit. I'm trying to get free my damn self. And that's the crazy thing about it. It's like they don't want to, they don't understand. But then again, they do, because I believe, I'm trying to remember who was saying. I don't know if it was Tommy Sotomayor or somebody was saying that these ladies were having their round table discussion and shit, and they were talking about how hard they are on their sons. No, this was on the radio.
I heard that one.
Yeah, they were so hard with their sons that one of the sons told their mother that, yo, mom, I just want to go to the store and just be happy with you. Just go to the store shopping without having to deal with all of this drama, her being angry at him. He just wants to have a pleasant time with his mother. But all he sees is, all he's getting with her is difficulty. It's adversary that he has to deal with his own mom, and it's running him away from his mama. So when he looks for, did something else. She said that he likes white girls because they're softer and stuff like that. But that's what's happening. I mean, their mothers are the ones that are driving them heavy away from the type of ladies that they wish for their sons to be with. What's up, Verbs? What's going on, Baba, today?
Hey, what's happening, man? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. What's going on, brother?
Oh, man, it's all good, man. It's all good to see you running in sniper mode, man. You know what I mean, you just come out of nowhere, you know what I mean?
Man, what's going on, Verbs? Man,
what's going on, SKC, man?
I saw that post you put up. I think it was today, man, with the chicks.
Yeah, yeah.
Correct terms: urinating and defecating. I'm like,
yep.
Oh my god.
Yep. Man, it's it, man. I'm telling you, man. And then again, it's what you guys were talking about before. They wonder why, guys are just saying, you know what, we want nothing to do with these women, and we're off. You know what I mean, they're not even. It's not like these elder, like the Gen X guys who those guys who make the decision to they leave. They basically leave, but making a lot of noise. Now these guys are just they're slipping out, man. They're just slipping out within the shadows, man. These younger dudes, they ain't having it, mate.
Bro, Verbs, man, what you put on there, that is straight animal like, man. I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to, be balanced. I know we have people sometimes that will, take clips of certain conversations and try to, use it against, the movement and everything. But I mean, what those women were doing, that's what animals do.
Yep.
Animal. Yep. I mean,
yep.
That was some sick junk, man. I was like, man, that's wow.
Yep.
Wow.
I mean, I'd like put it this way: the material is not running out anytime soon, man. It's not running out, man. I'm telling you. I got so much, man. Some of it I have to pass up. Or what I do is I do a compilation where I like releasing. It's like an article, but then I just release a whole load of videos. And I mean, I've done about 3 recently where I just released a whole load of videos. You know what I mean? So, man, the material, man, it just keeps spilling in, bro. Just keeps spilling in, man. I mean, but all right.
Man, I hope you don't mind me borrowing from your war chest from time to time, man.
Hey, you take whatever you need, bro. You take whatever you need, man. I mean, I ain't got no problem with that whatsoever.
Oh man.
Yeah, so brothers, I mean, yeah, we've been, hitting up in the back chat, we getting these emails on this craziness that these women online. It's like, why are they getting into conversations that don't belong to them? Obviously, and what I made a video was talking about how these chicks don't understand the contrast. They're on TikTok talking cash shit about black men, but they're mad at the white chicks for praising black men. So It's like, so if a brother's watching it, he's like, why would I want to get with you, a young cat? Why would I want to get with you when you're talking shit? Like there was like a side by side where a chick did a video where she was saying, she put a Latina who was saying that black men belong to Latinas, right? And she preferred black men. And this black chick took that and put her picture next to it, saying that, you mean the same black men that are killing your vendors or some shit. So I'm like, do you understand that you just shitted on the very men that you're supposed to be fighting to keep?
Right.
So it's like, if you don't want these type of men, then why are you mad that the Latina or the Asian or the white chick want to get with them?
Well, MBD, it's not supposed to make sense. It's the community.
Yeah, this shit is crazy. I'm like, yo, this is not the same thing as YouTube. The YouTube gender wars, the sisters came out on top because they used the system to be able to flag a lot of people down. So they were able to water down, the black manosphere. They were able to, drown that shit out. But TikTok is a whole different type of beast.
Yep.
White girls aren't in on that shit. Asian chicks are in on that shit. They're not going to be able to rub them out. They're not going to be able to push them push brothers back into silence. it's too late.
Mhm.
That's just crazy. I'm like, do you understand what's going on here? But apparently not. What's
Nope.
up, Sigma Jones? What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? I haven't too long. Just got done with my live stream, and I just saw your notice at the last minute, MBD. So I figured I'd stop by for a bit.
Oh yeah, I just like to hit them, with every once in a while, just
Oh
come
yeah.
through and wake some folks up. But yeah, what I'm saying, it's like, it's like it's what gets me is this it's just this madness. It's just madness here. Because I mean, clearly, let me see if I can find it. I know I got him in here somewhere. Clearly, maybe it might be on the next video for the TikToks. They're just losing. I mean, it's like, why would you put your photo side by side to a chick that's clearly superior in looks to you, and and then try to shame a black man to be with you, knowing that you're not going to you can't even compete. They can't even compete, brothers, and they're trying to go head to head with these snow bunnies, with the basic snow bunny, and they're not even then with the hard face. I'm sure you guys seen it online yourself.
Man,
Yeah,
all I'll say is like the thing that I just like to see, and I'm not trying to, like they say, bash black women. No, it's not about that for me. My thing is I just like to see brothers happy, man.
Right.
Yes, yes.
Brothers smiling and chilling and having a good time, enjoying life. I mean, to me, that's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, yes, because I mean, these guys are just having the time of their life, and it's like, oh snaps, we got BGS, we got Big Boss Man BGS. What's going on, brother?
Hey, folks, what's going on?
So yeah,
What's going on, man?
we having a discussion about the war on TikTok over black men. How we having problems with the sisters not liking the fact that the white girls are singing the praises of black men. What do you think?
Well, it really doesn't matter. I mean, really, the war is over when saw little white girls out there with the BLM face mask and BLM T-shirts. Man, that's when you know it was over. It's over. Yeah, the mostly white women out there front lines protesting for a dead black man. That's over. So whatever fence you thought was up is down. You know, what's really stressing out a lot of these women, are the older women are out, is that their sons are not dating black women, Latina, Asian, white, and that's all over the country. It's not just here in California or in Washington D.C. or New York. It's all over. So they're staring down the barrel, because I constantly get black women coming onto my channel complaining that that black men are not dating or not wanting black women. I said all I said is compete, but they don't know how, because they never had to.
yeah.
So BGS, from your perspective, and I know you have a ground zero look at it.
Mm-hmm.
What's the excuse now? I mean, so far as you have these young boys that are coming out of the household of these women, raised by them, and why are these young boys making that decision?
They get treated better. Has nothing to do with color. Has nothing to do with race. It's just they go to the women that treat them better. That's it, point blank period. If it's a black woman that treats them better, that's what they'll pick. If it's an Asian or a white woman or Latina, that's what they pick. So it has nothing to do with race loyalty. They pick the best woman for them. Period. And that's what they tell their mothers.
And it's something to reiterate what BGS just said. So there was a recent Pew Research report that came out that said that the millennials and zennials are more accepting of racial diversity than previous generations.
Yeah.
And the discrepancy is pretty significant throughout all racial diversity. So what white folks who feel about racial diversity is different compared to the white zillennials and millennials.
Yeah.
And to me, when you look at those generations going forward, they're going to be the ones that start the next baby boom, but what I like to call the genetic baby boom, where you're going to see a lot more children coming from biracial or multiracial backgrounds because of the attitudes of previous generations.
And you preached admixture, integration, assimilation, and admixture for the last 70 years. Now you're seeing the effects of it. So it's just, I mean, this is a policy that's been pushed by the United States, whether it's worked on the ground or not. This is a policy they've been pushed. So come they gentrify your neighborhoods, they mix your school systems up, and they break up black communities. And black women always complain. I said, where do you? Okay, first thing they say, well, I don't like my son dating whatever, right? I said, okay, so where do you send him to school? And I sent him to a mixed school. I said, why you send him to a mixed school? Because I want a better education. So you send him to a mixed school to mix in with those people. So why do you complain when he doesn't come home with a black woman? If you wanted to make sure he kept it black, you socialize him in an all black environment, but you didn't. So it is what it is. So now this is what it is. The admixture is normal. I don't know why black people don't want to accept it. Admixture all over the world for the last 200,000 years is normal. Two tribes get together, they're on opposite sides. By third generation, they start to mix. It is what it is, okay? And by 10 generations, you can't tell who's who because they're all mixed in. So I don't know what you're upset about. You're not going to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
the white people try to stop it for 200 years.
Yeah. So what do you think? Exactly.
So in other words, if it's not a normal process, why do you try to pass laws against it? It's because it is a normal process. So basically, once you lift all those barriers, guess what's going to happen? Eventually, they're going to mix in like they're supposed to.
Exactly. If you're driving a BMW and you're living in a French colonial house, you can't be mad at a brother for getting a French girl or a German girl. I mean, it's just you're living in a house designed, after European architecture, but yet you're complaining that your brother brings home a European woman. And what's crazy is a lot of them like go overseas. Now it's this thing they're talking about. They're trying to go to West Africa and turn the Gambia into a Negro Nazi state, and they want to. They have the money to build houses out there, but instead of building houses designed, but with African architecture in mind, they're building Mediterranean houses out there.
Mm-hmm.
They're building European houses. I don't understand what their thinking is if they're trying to keep it all black everything, but yet when you have the chance to build your shit and keep it all black. And what's funny is there's a family out there that's doing that, and they're talking about black man, black woman, black child, but yet that family, got older daughter is married to a white man, but they're preaching this black love, and they got another daughter that's in love with a Lebanese guy in Africa, and the son likes Lebanese girls, but because they sent their kids to an international school, and so they fell in love with, they liking different people from different cultures, even though they're in Africa. It's just crazy, brothers. It's just crazy how the hypocrisy of it is.
It's understandable if black women were the best woman for a black man, they would have no complaints. They wouldn't even worry about it. But they depend on racism and the vestiges of miscegenation to actually keep black men inside the ring. So we have to take whatever shit they have to put out. But like I said, I told black women a long time ago that this shit's over. I don't know why you're complaining. So SYSBM is just an acronym. Okay, I don't know why they attack you guys. Most young zennials and millennials, they have no idea what SYSBM is. They just do it. Okay.
Yeah, that's what they are. They're living that life.
Even before you guys even came up with the acronym, right? You guys were already doing it. Okay, you guys are already living that lifestyle, and amongst people that are already doing this exact same thing. It was already reality before it even came on YouTube. So what are you complaining about? Well, I don't see it on any place but YouTube. But now you see it. Okay, now you see it in on TV all over the world, where you have white women, white girls, white women with Black Lives Matter T-shirts out in the front lines. Okay. When you said you wouldn't fight for him because he had a white girlfriend, guess what? Boo? They don't need you.
Yeah, you're being replaced.
You are replaced. Okay. 'Cause if you talk to the Zen, because every time I always have for all my subs in other parts of the country, I said, "Do you have a son?" Yes. Is he black? Yes. Who does he date? Well, he dates a Latina. He dates a white. He dates an Asian. He doesn't date black girls. He said no. Black girls are mean to him. That's what I hear constantly. All from everybody I poll. Why my son? He doesn't date black women. He dates Latinas. Okay. Why? He said because they treat me better. Point blank. Period. That's one thing you can't argue about. It's not about race. It's not about color because black women always want to argue about the hair and the color and the look. You just like the way they look. No, what are the men actually saying? They treat me better. Period. Can't argue with that. And that's it. And I think that me being pro-black and pan-African, I said it's a goddamn shame. Because black woman, you should be the best woman for that man, and you're not. There should not be black boys that are, 10% of black boys at reading level, okay? Because they're with you, okay? A white woman should not be a better mother to your black son than you are, okay? And that's a goddamn shame. Why is that? You're a derelict in your duty, and then you want special privileges. Come on now. If this was a factory, it had been closed up years ago and shipped out to China, shipped out to Thailand and Singapore or Korea because you make shit.
So what do you think is coming up next? I mean, this is the latest generation. What's next out there?
People ask, well, what do you think about the community, right? The black community, the black culture as it is right now. I said, do you want the truth? They said, yes. I said, it's over. Give it a generation. It's over. Because the millennials and Zs have already voted. It's over. What used to be the black community is over with.
Yep. And I just did a stream just talking about it, how the zillennials and millennials already, they said 1 in 3 out of that generation are dealing with individuals that are not of the same race or ethnicity. So
if you poll the Zennials, it's like 60%.
So okay, brothers, listen. What is it? People are saying, statistics, marriage statistics. They keep coming with these old ass numbers and shit. I know that the numbers have jumped up significantly, but my thing is these people don't seem to understand marriage as a whole is on the decline. So cohabitation is the thing now. So it's like they don't understand these people are living together multiple years, having children. It's like they don't. They want to pick and choose the numbers that make them feel better because they're saying it's like 15%, maybe 20%. And I keep telling them that that's the totality of marriage for everybody. Dudes that got married in the 50s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. But we're talking about the new generation, the people that are 20, 30 years old. That number is massive compared to what you think it is.
It was only like 3. When I was young, it was only like less than 3%. Okay, now it's 15. Okay, and as boomers die off, then it's going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger as far as interracial marriage. Yeah, those are the ones that do get married.
Okay, somebody's got some feedback. Who's this? Okay, we got Soul Provider and we got Saleh. Who's that? Okay, somebody's got the feedback there. Somebody's got feedback.
Somebody's doing the YouTube.
Yeah, you're playing the YouTube. You got to mute yourself. Feedback. Who's this? Okay, I'm gonna see who this is. Okay, that was Saleh. Whatever, freaking. Anyway, so Soul Provider, what's going on, brother?
Hey, man. Thanks for the invite, bro, and shout out to everyone in the chat and the panel.
Salute.
So I'll say this: in today's time, like millennials and Gen Z, I mean, there's enough fuckery to deal with. There's enough filters we have to go through. We have to figure out is this chick. Oh, someone's still echoing.
Yeah. Keeps unmuting yourself, brother. You're got the feedback. You got to kill that feedback. Not you, Soul Provider.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Okay. What is it?
To deal with this.
Yo, brother, you gotta
somebody
mute yourself.
got mute YouTube.
Yeah, there you go. You gotta unmute. You gotta mute yourself and you got to kill that background noise, which
You
you're on the feedback.
got to mute the YouTube feed.
Right. Okay, go ahead, Soul.
Yeah, so I was saying that Gen Z and millennials are dealing with so much fuckery, but we have to filter out who's a feminist, who's overweight, who's bisexual, all this other bullshit.
Go ahead.
All this other bullshit, and it's like, why would a brother limit? Why would you limit yourself in 2020? I mean, you have enough bullshit to go through. You might as well just date whoever you can deal with. And just have the rest of your life and just be happy. I have friends who are not even non-black, and they can't even deal with their own women. I have a Hispanic friend. He can't deal with his own Spanish and Hispanic chicks, and he's just dating whoever he's gonna be able to deal with. So in today's time, I just think it's limiting and dumb just to limit yourself to your I just say go ahead and date whoever you want to date, whoever the skin tone ever, even if that person's a fucking alien. As long as that person treats you right, just deal with that.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what it is right now. Let me see who's down here. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna bring in my boy NBD. Here we go. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's going on, MBD?
What's going on, brother?
Man, another day, man. It was funny. We were talking about this last night on my stream about, the women in the community. They like to have their foot on their neck. And man, they went off on me. They were mad. And these were conservative women. And I was like, let me break it down to you. I said, let's look at a couple guys. What kind of men y'all like? As Baba Tunde would say, 12 gauge Mike, Slim Sauce, them type of dudes. And them the type of dudes to put their hand on you. But look, y'all stay messing with these dudes.
Yeah. But them dudes ain't messing with them no more because the immigrant Latinas are actually sweeping them up. So they're getting swept from the bottom and the top.
Yeah, it's a wrap. When Pookie leaves, it's a wrap.
Pookie's leaving, man. Pookie's leaving.
Trey,
okay.
Suki Hana is teaching them how to keep a man though.
Hey,
oh hell no!
Hey, that email SKC. Who sent that email with the femininity course? $1,700 will get you right. Woo!
I don't know if anybody else saw that, but
yeah, I think Man of Tomorrow sent that out. I think it was Man of Tomorrow.
Yeah, MOT sent that out, man. Lady charges $1,700 to teach these women how to.
Cheap.
Woo!
That's cheap because these hard-headed women that it's not enough.
And see that shows right there and there. If you have to charge women of your culture on how to be women, your culture pretty much have lost. That's something that should have been taught to them when they were young. But when you have a culture that praises females to be of independent and, so to speak, act like a man, be like a man and whatnot, you lose how to be your true femininity. So if you have to pay women, so to speak, just to reteach them or teach them overall, you're already behind the 8 ball as far as trying to recover wherever's left in that culture.
Yeah, I mean, when Monahan tried to do this back in 1965, the black women fought a tooth and nail because they wanted to maintain control of the community. Okay, which they're still trying. They're trying under Kamala Harris and the other politicians. They're still trying to hold on to it. But the thing is that black men say, you know what? At this point, if this is what you want as far as the black community, guess what? I'm out. I'll take my chances on the other side of the fence.
So, what do you guys think about this whole Megan the male horse trying to get brothers to start protecting? Because that's the new narrative we're not protecting out here.
Okay.
What do you think about that? The male horse out here trying to shame brothers back into the plantation.
Yeah, they've been trying that for 50 years, man. Nothing new.
It's BS.
Yeah. In other words, when are you guys gonna start even talking about it? They've been trying to. In other words, I would tell them find a new narrative because this one is not working anymore.
My solution was, if you want protection, simply just pay for it. I mean, you can pay for your own security guard or use your fucking dogs. They love dogs and shit. So just get a bunch of pet bulls or some shit. I don't know.
But yeah,
Or
see, that was bleeding over onto TikTok. Somebody sent me a link to a video. No, Kid Organic did it. Kid Organic did a video. So if anybody knows a link, you can send him the link to the show if he wants to join. But Kid Organic, did a video where he was, he showcased, he's saying, the black community or black people ruining social media and they're ruining TikTok. And what he was saying is there's a girl talking about how we're not out here protecting. Where's the black man? You're not stepping up to the plate. And then this effeminate black guy tries to piggyback off of her little video thing. And of course, he's a young cat, and he was talking about how we ain't shit, and we ain't doing this, we don't have shit, and all of that shit. So that was just it was bizarre. It's like they're gonna only have these effeminate men left.
Yo, did he have glasses?
And NBD.
Yes, he had glasses.
And NBD.
What?
In that same video, did that brother or supposed brother said that non-black women only want us for breeding purposes?
Yes,
was that one? Yup. I saw that too.
So
how is that? How is that an insult?
Right, that's a level up. I'm like, yo,
why?
came up in the universe and shit. Right, because you're saying the top female on the planet, just looking for for you to pass your seed. I mean, it's like, I did a video on that. That's over there on Patreon, I believe. And it's like, yo, that's some crazy ass shit. For it's like he thinks that was a step down. That was a diss. It's like, yo, what? It's Looney Tunes, but of course he's taking the female's logic and he's trying to run with that. So it's Looney Tunes, brothers. It's Looney Tunes. He's like, yo. Go ahead.
Mago's got a mag.
Well, I was going to say, look, at the end of the day, these women, what they need to do, since they transferred ownership of themselves from black men to the state, they need to seek out the state when it comes down to protection. So I'll point them to the nearest government building or police station. It's simple.
And they call them anyway. So if you're with them, even if you're with them, they're going to call them anyway.
Right. I mean, it's like you can't basically say, okay, right, I wanna get under the wing of Captain Snowy, but then all of a sudden at the same time you want protection from your male counterpart. It doesn't work like that. Choose which one do you want. Okay, you chose the government, you chose the state, you chose Captain Euro. All right, then you go over there. That's where you go. That's who supposed to provide you with protection, man.
It's retarded because all they have to really do is just, have a good, decent personality, be in shape, be feminine, and you can get selected pretty early on in your 20s and you're good to go. That's all it takes. So for all these compromised people, 30s and 40s, looking for hope, it's too late. Go get a dog. I mean, it has to start early. If you're not it has to start early. And all this false hope and bullshit, it's just not realistic. You have to start early.
Based on what you just said, I would like to ask a question to BGS. If you guys can hear me, I hope you can.
Go ahead.
This is based on one of your most recent videos where you made a very interesting point about how in the community, in the younger generations, we're raising a lot of young black males to be unsuccessful or raising a lot of young black women to be alone. And based on the guy with the pink avatar, I don't know your name, I'm sorry, but what you just said, it raises a really interesting point. Looking at your generation, right? I'm seeing these older generations of black women raising their daughters to just straight up just lack any kind of feminine qualities and traits, right? And I assume that they would know that would make it harder to get a man, let alone a man of value. Why would they put their daughters in that position?
Because hopefully they're training you to accept those kind of women. And that's the issue. Because your mother's raising you to accept somebody just like her, just like the daughter that she's raising, right?
Right.
But the problem is that what's happening is when you go to school, which also socializes you, right? Which is what I'm hearing, because like I said, I know what my son did, and he's 34, and I hear about other guys who have sons that are in their teens, right? And the problem is not what goes on at home, because you're socialized to accept the women that are in your home. That's part of that still pulls at you. But the thing is, when you go out and say into a mixed community or a mixed school, right? And you have an Asian girl, you have a white girl, you have a Latina girl, and you have a black girl, right? So now you can compare the difference between them, and then you realize that black girls are mean to you, your mama's mean to you, your sisters are mean to you, and they're trying to control you. They want you to serve them rather than vice versa. Where this white girl over here, she's willing to help you out and serve you. Same thing with the Latina. Same thing with the Asian girl. And when you get to thinking, wait a minute, why should I take this abuse that I've been trained to accept from my mother and my sisters in my community from a woman when some other woman over here, she's so nice to me, she's so sweet to me, she's so helpful to me that I've never gotten in my own community. You said, oh, well, there's a difference. And then you start realizing is that what these women over here are doing is normal. And what you've been experiencing is abnormal. And that's when all the other, the red pill rage comes in and shit like that. Well, these bitches, okay, they lied to me, okay. Yep. and then your mother and your sisters and other black women call you weak because you're accepting women that will actually cater to you. Well, duh.
Now, based on what you just said, I'm going to make another point. So I just recently finished up school this year, and I'm in like early mid-20s, right? So completely different ballpark, completely different generation. And I will say, being at the university that I was down in Texas, but I remember one night I was talking to this one girl, and we were just, you meet people in your residence hall, you meet people in your dorms, whatever. And we were just kind of talking about like race and things like that, just random conversation. And we were just kind of hanging out at the pool table. And she asked me, hey, can I ask you a very serious question? And I want to ask you this because you're a black guy. And I was like, all right, sure. What's up? And she goes, why is it that when I walk around campus, I never see any black couples, and all the black guys are with someone who's not black, and the majority of them are chasing white girls? What is that all about? So it's getting to the point where now girls of other races are noticing the lack of black couples and the fact that almost every black guy on campus is with someone that doesn't look like him or his mom.
And I'll say this. Someone mentioned that, when it comes to, them being raised by their moms, I would say you're not even raising them. It's fucking Netflix that's the father and the mom now. It's fucking Disney Plus. They're the parent. They put that shit on automatic play and just let their kids just be staring at TV all day. They're not even doing the basic parenting.
Yep. No, they are not doing the basic parenting. They don't. Yes, people are catching on to the idea of what's going on. Everybody pretty much knows why. They know why. Right now, we're getting to the point where they're not going to care about being PC about it. They're just going to start saying it, because it started out with the black guy saying it. What's his name? What's that dude? That rapper's name? Damn, Trick Daddy. And Trick Daddy said he caught some heat, right? Soon they're going to get to the point where they can be like, F it. I'm going to just say what I want to say. I don't give a damn. I mean, the ladies are talking about it on TikTok. You see the videos I posted where the white women are talking about, these men don't belong to you, and don't try to shame black men for being. That's going to start branching out to the mainstream. And once that happens, I mean, it's going to be like Europe. It's just going to be no competition.
Every kid has to go to school. Okay, every kid's got to go to school. And every kid is going to get introduced into other races. So whether it's on TikTok, it's on YouTube, Facebook, wherever, it doesn't matter because it's going to happen on the ground.
Unless they go to Umar Johnson's school.
Hopefully Omar Johnson will have nicer women for them to be with.
Oh man! Oh boy!
Hey, did any of you all catch that article? It was an article being sent out on Medium where some writer dude that's linked to Mr. Fountain was trying to link the Tory Lane shooting to the manosphere.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Tory Lane's been watching some SYSPN videos beside that shooter in the foot.
Well, then basically, I learned this from the MGTOW community, right? When MGTOW was very small. It doesn't matter what they say about you, just spell it right.
Right, I guess so. Yeah, you want to make sure you spell it right? Because that means it's going to be publicity.
What is SYSB about, right? And they're going to look it up. And if you listen to especially black feminists or black female rhetoric about how black men have to fix themselves, right? Because with My Brother's Keeper, they shot it down, right?
That's right.
So basically, what they always say, if it's going to happen, black men have to do it, right? because we're not going to help you, right? So if you want a better black boy to actually learn better, black men are going to have to do it, right? If you want a better outcome for black men are going to have to do it. You want to get black men off the street because they're homeless, black men are going to have to do it. In other words, SYSB, you got to save yourself, black man. It doesn't matter, okay? Whether you're with a white girl, with a black one, whatever. They're not coming for you, okay? They're not coming to help you, okay? You know, if they come to help you, they're looking to use you as a fucking step stool, a stepstone to step up to get a higher position, but to get it to write a paper so they can get a grant, right? You know, I talk to professors. You guys know I talk to professors, right? Why are the professors so frustrated? Their colleagues can get grants and books and positions that they can't, right? So the black women aren't helping them. You have black professors that start black girl magic and have sons. They do nothing for their sons. And then when you ask why, I say, well, black men should do it. So black men you're going to have to save yourself anyway.
And BGS, a question for you. So there was a comment that was made the other day there where this YouTuber said that just because black men date or marry outside of their race doesn't mean that other race of people, i.e. like cultures and all, like black men. But yet and still, you're seeing a lot of prominent men in good positions, like from managers up, that seem to already be married to somebody of a different race. So my thing is this: if other cultures don't like black men, then how is it that these men who are marrying out, how are they able to get prominent positions, executive positions at that, in the corporate world? Like, make that make sense.
Because they have a female that's not competing against them. They have a female that's willing to help them. They have a female that's willing to do things for them. So in other words, they don't have to like you. So what? They don't like you. The thing is that are you competent? Can you do the work? At the end of the day, that's what they're going to measure it by. If you have a female that's willing to go out and campaign for you, unlike black women, then that's just two people working under the same goal. And that's what black women don't realize. Okay. You're not supposed to be our competition. Okay. I'm not supposed to be competing against my woman. If I marry you, you're not just supposed to lay up, have kids and fuck with me, right? You're supposed to be out campaigning to make my life better and actually help me. Because a white woman, she knows that your money is my money. The better, the higher you go up, the more successful you are, the better my life is going to be. Her ass is going to be out there campaigning for you. She's going to be on the phone. If you were out of work, she can be on working the phones trying to get you a fucking job. If you guys are living in the ghetto, she can be on the phones trying to get you a better place. She gonna help, okay? Black woman ain't gonna do nothing but sit back and fuss and tell you you ain't shit, and that's the problem.
And
I'll tell you, fellas. Hey, I'll chime into that, man. It's when you out here on the other side, corporate world, business world, or even back when I was in the military. Honestly, once you're away from the strag, they look at you a whole lot different. Whether you're single or you got a nice, pretty little thing of another hue on your arm, man, they look at you different because you're going to carry yourself different. Once you're away, now I ain't talking about those 4% of black women out there, who hold it down. But once you're away from the strag, your whole demeanor, your mindset, the way you even look at men of other races changes. And, you're just overall pleasant to be around.
And let's not forget all the free promotion SYSBM's been getting lately, especially this year.
That's what I said.
Get your booty to the pole, anyone? Yeah. Free promotion. And anytime on my channel where I see all that fuckery, I'm like, I know Mad Bus Driver is happy as shit because you get all this free attention, all this free promotion, and you don't even have to do shit. It's just advertising.
That's why I told Aaron Fountain, you're doing them a favor.
Yep.
Go ahead and spread it, bro. You're doing them a favor. I've seen this play before. Same thing I told the MGTOWs. In fact, the video's still up when they were talking about the BBC doing a video on them. I said, it's all it's going to do is spread your name. Okay, all it's going to do is spread your name. So basically, if they start mentioning, no matter how they do it, all it's going to do is spread your name. As long as they spell it right. And so Aaron Fountain just did you guys a favor because you guys were relatively unknown until he put that hit piece out on you. Now everybody knows what SYSBM is.
Yep.
Yeah, and as soon as it hit TikTok, as soon as it hits TikTok, it's a wrap. Once these young cats start saying that shit, it's a done deal.
Yeah, because they're already doing it.
Hey, that's the common factor amongst the Black Manosphere of all of us. Is Aaron Fountain came after all of us.
And the
It didn't
thing
matter
is,
which way.
Man,
thing is
those
this
young
too.
dudes are cold blooded, man. I mean, I know I did some crazy junk, but man, when they did those run videos with the terrorist thing, they're running towards the white woman. I was like, God damn!
What?
See,
Oh,
a
you
lot
got to
of
send me that one.
yeah.
You got to
See,
send me that one.
a lot of the opposition were banking on Trump getting rid of TikTok, because of his connections to Chinese and everything. You can hear a pin drop when he announced that he's helped sign a deal to have TikTok move over here to America. Like literally, the whole dynamic changed after he did that because
I
they know
mean,
what's coming down.
TikTok is just
Hey,
one.
he might have got the black female vote if he would have did that.
It doesn't matter because if it wasn't TikTok, somebody will invent something else, right? And what the thing is, it's already happening on the ground. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, because you see it right here. It's already happening. It's right here.
Hey, I'll just put it like this. The most popular porn site right now is black.com. I should tell you something.
I noticed that.
Yeah, so you know what? That shit is amazing. So you wondering why they keep a lot of black men around, why they keep moving up in corporate America? It's because a lot of these white dudes would like to have those gentlemen around to service their wives at night. So I mean, that happens a lot. But anyways, on top of that is this. As you can see, it's going on right here. This is going to be the driver. Yeah, TikTok. Something about that site, how people express themselves, has gotten caught fire, and the fact that a whole horde of young teenagers, led by these white chicks, going around expressing their love for black men on TikTok, really pisses a lot of people off to the point where they're just hell bent on looking to shut it down by any means possible.
Yeah, and what like I said, BLM and what's been going on for the last 6 months on the streets just made it more popular. Now it's more acceptable to be with a black guy than it used to be, because now now it's out of the closet. Now had little white girls actually standing in front of cops protecting little black boys. Now that's out there. Huh? Yes, it is.
Yeah, that junk is crazy, man. Like, I mean, on this TikTok thing, they have videos coming out like every few minutes.
Yeah.
So it's like a certain YouTuber of who they really choose. She can't even keep up.
Hey, but I tell y'all what, it ain't just BLM. Over here on the right, it's the same thing with the white women. I'd say it's even worse. Well, better, whichever way you look at it.
Yeah. Because if the economics keep crashing like that, well, I call the COVID basically the great leveler, because now you have to pick a man. Now each woman has to pick a man that fits her, no matter what color he is. And white girls are notorious, especially white girls are notorious for picking the best man, no matter what he looks like. They're extremely hypergamous. So if they see a black guy in school, he's going someplace, they're gonna latch on to him. It doesn't matter. It doesn't, especially if it's acceptable now. So
yeah, I mean, they're going to the proms. I mean, they're taking. They're like level up, like 7 to 10 deep. White chicks with black men taking pictures together to go to the prom. I have videos of that shit. If they're going to the prom is like, it's a coming of age type of a ritual. It's like you're practicing to get married or some shit. If they're doing that with the brothers now, I mean, shit, it's a done deal.
What is it?
MVD, hey, MVD. A couple of I know you've seen like the on the sister side of things. I know BGS the breakdown. They did a show based upon that picture that you're talking about, MVD, and and one of the co-hosts stated that. She said, "I don't understand. It's even with my own son. Even he says that he wants to date out, and I don't get it."
Yeah, no, that's a lie. They get it because they came out of my camp. They get it. She's lying. She knows what it is. She knows
Yeah,
exactly.
because at the end of the day, it's a case where I keep saying it, man. Black women, they see black men as lower than them. They see us as their slaves, their flunkies.
That's
And
true.
so what's happening now is it's a case where they don't believe that we are entitled to them in their best condition. That's why they come to us in any decrepit state and they say, yeah, you got to take us. And then if you don't, you basically try and shame you.
Well, you
But
know
at the
what,
end of
Bob?
the day,
You
yeah,
know
go
what,
ahead,
Bobby?
bro.
You know, I used to believe that they just refused to do it, and they refused to change, and then I started to realize that they can't.
Mm,
It's so ingrained
mm,
into the culture, and so reinforced by not just their mother, but their grandmother and their great grandmother. This has been like 6, 7 generations, just ingrained in them to be
yep.
resistant like this. And I've actually seen black women actually try to change, and they just can't. They
Nope.
just can't. They just can't. So at the end of the day, and they've even admitted that we just can't change that fast. I've said, well, you know what, the environment's changing, and what is it, survival of the fittest. If you're not the best woman for the black man, he's got choices. Then it is what it is. And like Neo said in the Matrix, when he actually was in the room with the architect, he said, "What's wrong with the Matrix? Choice." That's what's happening with the black community. It's choice now. Black men have choice. That's the difference.
Right.
Black men have choices that they never had before. You guys have choices I didn't have when I was young. Straight up, I didn't have those kind of choices. You guys have it.
And BGS, one more thing too. Would you agree that with the advent of technology, especially like with social media that came in the early 2000s, that has literally forced everybody to now compete on a global level as far as relationships and finding people that fit your culture, so to speak.
Yeah, or fit your needs. Not even your culture, just your needs.
Well, there you go. There you go.
So sometimes you have to look outside your culture. You guys are the epitome of it. Your needs weren't met inside the culture. So what you have to do, you got to go outside of it.
Yep.
And people have problems with that, which I never did. It said if everybody has a right to be happy. I always said that about SYSBM. Every man has a right to be happy, no matter what it is. And if the black community wants to keep these men inside the black community, then they need put a foot up the ass of these women and make them change, make them treat them right. If not, hey, let them go.
The only real way, the only real right way that this will ever be fixed is that they would have to surrender their power anyway, and they're not going to surrender that shit.
Do it. No,
because I mean, you do a survey, there's going to be a percent of people that say, "Oh no, I'm good. I'd rather keep my power, and y'all can have it." So I don't. That's why when I hear people complain, "Oh well, you're not leaders, all this shit. We're the good men." Oh, surrender first, bend the knee, but they're not going to do it. Maybe a small percent will, but it's not enough. You're going to see a lot more Seth Currys, a lot more interracial dating. It is what it is. Just get over it.
You're going to see a lot more of this right here. Straight up trying to make a bite out of that ass. That's exactly what you're going to see.
Yep.
Instead of being mad at it and learn from them, okay, the men are going to pick the women that are best for them, and if you're not, you need to learn. Well, men have to learn all the time. We have to go out and compete. And unfortunately, if in this environment, black men are the best men in this environment. Most cooperative, most egalitarian, most adjustable, most flexible. In this environment, that's what you have to be. And we have been that, in this culture from inception, because we had to be. It is what it is. And that's like a lot of races that come from a more patriarchal environment said, wait a minute. They talk about this black guy. Wait a minute. He's agreeable. He's flexible. He doesn't have his foot on my neck all the time. I can talk to him. He's fun to be around, and he can fuck. I'll say, wait a minute. What's wrong with this package?
This brother right here put 8 in the oven.
So, question, BGS, and because you have a pro-black background, why do you're accepting of this? Why are so many other pro-blacks so resistant?
Because it's gonna the black culture that we've had for the last 300 years is gonna go away. That's why they're so resistant of it. It's going to go away because it's going to get blended. It's going to get absorbed. They don't want it absorbed. I said, if I said the only way it will not be absorbed if the black women actually change their stance to actually do better, actually be more agreeable, be more accepting, be more helpful. Okay, if you can't do if you can't do that, then the culture probably needs to be absorbed because it's faulty. It's defective.
And BG has another question for you too. So sometimes when you hear these individuals online, they say that they need to preserve the culture, but yet
Okay.
when you ask them, what aspect of the culture are you trying to preserve, they
Okay.
give you no answer. And so when we tell them that you're more focused on preserving color than culture, it's kind of like with them, like, no, we're not. We're preserving the culture. But then when you ask them, okay, what aspect of the culture are you trying to preserve? They give you no answer.
They know what it is. Basically, it's a well, I call it a gynocracy, but it's a matriarchal culture with women in charge. Okay, and if men start leaving that and get absorbed by with women in a culture that doesn't fit that, then that's what's going to happen to our culture, Black American culture. It's going to change. It's going to change radically. Probably will disappear.
The problem is there's no exact guideline when it comes to mating, dating, and marriage in the culture. There's nothing. That's why when you ask that question, you're not
yes,
going to
it is.
get it.
Oh, yes, it is. It's just it depends on whether black men have choice or not. Okay, there's I call it Klingon culture. There's basically there's the dating, mating, and acceptance. I call it Klingon culture, basically. Okay, she's supposed to be mean to you, she's supposed to report you while she hurls heavy things at you. Okay, basically, she's supposed to be mean to you, dish you, talk about you, and that's supposed to show appreciation and love. You're supposed to accept that as appreciation and love. And for a long time, we did.
You know, I have to clip that BGS so I can put a visual to it.
Go ahead, man. What I'm saying is, I mean, it's I keep hearing this over and over and over again from boomers, from Xers, from millennials. The same thing is that we were taught to accept certain things, accept to be stepfathers, accept to be women that actually talk to us a certain way, treat us a certain way, right? I said that to women. I said, how did you learn how to interact with little boys when you were little? Okay, you hit him and ran, right? That's what happened to me when I was like 10 or 11 years old. So how you know a girl likes you? She's gonna hit you and run, and she's gonna talk bad about you, because that's how she shows that she's interested in you. The meaner I am to him, the more he's supposed to be attracted to me. That's what they're taught. And the thing is, that's fine as long as you stay inside that bubble and you learn. Okay, I mean, I heard, I was taught if she's mean to you, you try to make her laugh, you try to break her down, right, over time, right, to the point where she's gonna break down, that wall breaks down, and you come together, right? That's the way you're taught. That is the mating dance that black men and women are taught, especially when they're little, especially if it's an all black environment. That's what you're taught, right? So what if you get an environment where, I've heard this, where you try to interact, say, with a woman of a different persuasion, whether she's white or Latina. Okay, that doesn't happen. You're like, damn, she's too nice. She must want something. She's up to something because she's too nice, because she's not cussing me out, or she's not swinging at me, or she's not trying to start a fight. Okay, so something's wrong with this. And for a long time, a lot of boomers and exes say, okay, she's just too nice. She's too weak. Because that's what your mother and your sisters and the black women tell you. She weak. She can't handle you because she's too weak. She way too nice. They said that about the Japanese women back in 1953. I put that up. That they're too accepting, they're too nice, they're too cordial, they're too submissive.
Wow.
Okay. Which is, I just heard another guy put a video up talking about the S word, submissive, how black women hear it, and their hairs in the back of their neck jump up, right? You say that to a white woman, like, of course. Say that to an Asian woman, yeah, that's normal. Say that to a Latina, that's normal. But to a black woman, oh no, I can't submit. That's like slavery.
Yep.
Okay, brothers, we got a professor on deck. He's been trying to get on deck for a long ass time. So, brother, welcome to the party. And
I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
Oh yeah. We're just gonna set you up. I don't know how long you've been, following, but welcome to the party. But basically, we're talking about this war on TikTok. Basically, it's another gender war. Basically, it's based off of race. They're mad that white chicks are professing their love for black men, and they want to shut that down. So, what's your thoughts on that, as well as greater in the community, the resistance for black men having free choice to be in whatever relationship they want to be in?
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me to your platform. I'm very happy to be here. When I saw this SYSBM initially about a year or so ago, I was like, this guy has a very good thing going on. I mean, I like this SYSBM platform. I like it's an original idea. He came up with it on his own. A lot of people are trying to do knockoffs of it, but I really like your idea. But based on the TikTok information, I'm just tired. I'm thinking in Spanish because I'm saying hello from Costa Rica, San Jose, Costa Rica.
Hey.
Right now, yeah. But this whole thing about the black women hating on the people, especially when it comes to TikTok or other type of videos, you know what? I would say you've done it to yourself. Your sense of entitlement. But what are you entitled to? You haven't done anything to improve yourself. You haven't done anything to make yourself a more valuable person. You haven't changed your attitude of animus for the black man, or have done anything to try to make yourself more marketable to black men. But of course, you just can't stand to see the white women who have invested. She's not been returning on her investment. And you see that through the videos in TikTok. So I say to the black women, shame on yourselves for trying to shame black men. SYSBM is a way of being free, like as you say, to take some of your words, and it's a way of being liberated so you can enjoy your life. Being here in Costa Rica, living with the Latina women, I know that it's a beautiful thing to live here. And yes, the stereotype is correct. The Latina women absolutely love the brothers. I've been living here for 5 years. I'm here right now, 5 years straight. It's not like off and on. The Latina women have this extreme fantasy for the brothers. So everybody can come on down. And there's probably a lot of TikTok videos, as you've shown before, of Latinas with brothers.
Okay, brothers. Now, he's down there in Costa Rica. You got any questions? He's right there right now. Go ahead and hit him up, because you may want to come down there to Costa Rica. He's right there. So go ahead, hit him up. Let him, if you got any questions, go on.
Can I just ask a question right now?
Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
So, all right. So I generally notice that I tend to lean with my preferences a bit more towards the Asian girls and the Latinas myself. But I got to ask you, since you're out there, as far as Costa Rica goes, I'm going to be fair and assume that they got them in all shades out there.
That's correct. My first girlfriend here was completely white, and she's from an area they call Limón. And Limón is actually supposed to be the area on the Caribbean side of Costa Rica where all the darkest and the black people came, because that was where the slave traders dropped off a lot of imports and a lot of slaves as well. It's a port city. However, my first girlfriend was completely white, and she was from the city from Limón. But there are all the different shades, but they still all like the brothers.
Beautiful.
Hey, some people want to know, do you have a Instagram or a YouTube channel or something like that where people can, check you out and follow you or something? Go ahead.
You know what, MBD? I was thinking about that because, I hear so many false people giving out so much false information about Costa Rica. Some people have said Costa Rica is a racist country. And I can tell you right now, living here for 5 years straight, Costa Rica is not. I completely disagree with anybody who says this. It's not a racist country. And the police don't try to jack you up. As a matter of fact, the police women here, oh my God, they are extremely beautiful. And even the pants they wear, because here they have the super tight pants. I mean, that's the style for the women. I mean, they have to be super tight. And even the police officers wear that. But yes, that's what I would say to anyone who thinks about that. Costa Rica is not a racist country, so come on down.
That's interesting, Professor Jay, because I hail from Houston, Texas here, and we have a pro-black therapist in the area, and his exact words about the Costa Rican women and also women from in South America, he calls them dirty foot hoes. So, and that's coming from
brown feet,
a
brown
licensed
feet.
therapist. Yeah. So it's interesting that you have a totally different opinion being a professional or a professor there on the scene.
And it's very ironic. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
And it's very ironic because I was living in Houston, Texas, and I was a therapist prior to moving here. However, my last job.
I have to interview you,
SKC.
sir.
SKC.
We have to interview you, sir. You got to drop your information in so we can get this interview done.
Okay, Professor J.
Yeah.
Professor J. Myself and SKC. We're quick question for you. Me and SKC. We're Houston. We live in Houston. And, you know, the women in Houston, you know, there's some hot ones, but there's some big girls down there, some big ones. So how's the height weight proportionality for the women in Costa Rica? I've been there, but it was in 2010. How's it looking now?
I'm glad that's a very good question. I would say that the women here are probably 5'2" and maybe 110, 105 pounds on average. But the beauty level is, I would say they were probably 8 and above most of the women. I mean, the women that are sitting on the bus stops are like, how can this woman be sitting on the bus stop? She looks like a supermodel. She looks like Melania Trump or somebody. And another thing here too, the women are very tranquilo. That means they're very calm. You can take a woman out on a date on a bus. That's not happening in the US. Maybe in New York. I'm from New York City, so you might use a subway to get to places because of all the traffic and congestion. But most other places, no, you're not taking any woman on a date on a date with a bus. The women are just much more beautiful, better attitudes, much slimmer, and they don't have all this sense of entitlement that the US women have. I just can't take it.
Okay, second question for you. Like I learned Spanish like before and after I moved down there. But did you learn it before you got down there or once you were there?
Well, I learned it before using flashcards. I'm older than probably all of you guys. I'm in my 50s. So I've learned it during my old-fashioned way, that's using flashcards. It's a little bit of modern twist because I put the flashcards on, you got computer systems to do the flashcard. Now you just click the mouse and they'll flash the card for you. But once you get here, if you know how to make friends, people will teach you. And if you don't really know what to say, you just say, corregirme, or correct me if I'm wrong. And based on that, they'll help you out. And then you'll add a little bit more and a little bit more every single time. And if you really want to learn, it's up to what you really want to do, your own mentality. If you want to learn, then you will learn and you'll make more friends and you'll get more connections with much more women.
And they in Central America, they have really good Spanish schools. So if you want to sit down and take 3 months to actually go through a Spanish school, they got really good Spanish schools that are cheap.
Whoa! I'll tell you though, the other thing to do, fellas. The other thing, fellas.
So I'm hearing conflicting information, BGS, because again, our licensed therapist here in Houston, who has a master's degree out of Southern University, he said that the schools down in South America are inferior.
No, I'll tell you, because I was in Guatemala for like 3 months, right? And people came from all over the world to learn Spanish in Guatemala. They had the best Spanish schools in the world in Guatemala. So Central America has some of the best Spanish schools in the world. I have people coming from Europe and come from America, coming from all over the place to actually learn Spanish in Central America. Those have some of the best Spanish schools in the world. So you can. And then where I was in Guatemala, they had like 10 Spanish schools, but Spanish schools are all over the place. And you have native speakers that speak English and Spanish. They have to go through a certification. So yeah. So that's not a problem. If you really want to learn Spanish, you can. If you want to, as soon as you get boots on the ground, just say go walk through the town. Where's the Spanish school at? They can actually point you to the better ones.
Okay, I got two questions. One to SKC and the other one to Professor J. SKC, who is this said professor down there in Texas? And two, Professor J, what's the cost of living down there in Costa Rica? So for a brother to get on the ground.
Cheap.
I'll wait for the other person.
Go ahead, SKC. Go ahead, SKC.
Well, our resident pro-Black therapist is none other than D. Darrell, who also makes musical videos to celebrate the dark skin queens here in America. So,
Oh man.
All right. Okay, go
Well,
ahead.
I will say that the reason why I moved here is because I'm retired. And the cost of living is ridiculously low. You can probably see behind me, I have a 2,400 square meter house, 2-level, 3-car garage, garden, a built-in storage area, and it only costs, and it's a modern house. It's very modern. I mean, it's not something that, it was just built in 2014, and it only costs $800 a month.
Yep, about right.
And I'm in the best area of the entire country.
Gated community?
No. That's the area because it's completely controlled. But if you see the houses, if you see the streets, if you've been in Houston, Trey, NBD, the area like Galleria area, it would be similar to that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, over there, like off Sage.
That's right. I used to live on Sage, right around the Sage on McHugh Road, in a place called Dominion Post Oak, a gigantic apartment about real close to the Galleria Mall.
And Professor J, I'm right there. I'm right there, just a few minutes from San Felipe and Kirby.
Oh, so you're in a rich area too. You got that money.
Hey, according to D. Durrell, you fronting SKC. You don't live over there.
You'll be Trump here. The average income here is only $500 a month. The average rent, though, is only like $200 a month. So the average person, average Costa Ricans, can survive on that amount of money. Now, if you want to buy imported things, it's just the exact opposite. Like when you're in Central Market, in Houston, Texas, or whatever, you buy the imported things are going to be like 3 or 4 times the price. Like, oh my God, their jelly costs $5 a bottle. The same thing will happen here. If you buy the American products now the American products are like 2 or 3 times the price. But you can still buy the regular products that they get from this country or from other countries close. But your cost of living will be way down. I mean, my electric bill is only $40. My health insurance for full coverage, a person over 50, is only $45. My cell phone is $26. My internet is $36, and my house is $800. So that's lower than $1,000 in total for my entire expenses. And when people come to my house, like, oh my God, you must make a lot of money. I'm like, you will never know because I won't ever tell you.
So it's good to have American dollars coming in if you're planning on living overseas. If you have that American guaranteed dollar residual income, or you got a large, cash stash, that's good to have. Now, the brothers, you see, we're making connections overseas and stuff. So if you're looking to go overseas, you're watching this vid, you can see you got a brother out there that may be able to help you on the ground when you get out there, because that's good to have. So that's what we got to do. Like at SYSBM is network with other cats that are out there who already are doing it on the ground, in other countries. If you're looking to, leave the United States of America, some brothers are into that. But I've been down to Central America, Honduras. You've been down to Grand Cayman Islands, Mexico multiple times. Yes, they are really nice. You guys got to not be scared of what you see on television. They scaring you like drug deals and the mafia MS-13 and stuff. Where I was in Mexico, none of that. It was nice and calm, and it was just the ladies out there were beautiful and stuff like that. We're talking golden beautiful. So I mean, it's wide open for you brothers out there. You just got to want to branch out and take that leap of faith, I guess. But you got people here that's out there. Anybody got any questions? So, anyways, Professor, how did you find out about what got you onto onto what we were doing over here in this part of the manosphere, or this part of the YouTube?
Well, actually, I was thinking about, as you just said earlier, to create a YouTube channel because so much false information about Costa Rica and the women and the costs and the expenses and everything else. I'm like, I'm going to make me a YouTube channel. So when I was looking a while ago, because I've been here for 5 years, I just happened, your channel popped up. I'm like, hey, I like this guy's helmet. Let me just see what he's talking about. And then when I heard what you were saying, I'm like, this guy's saying, he's repeating everything I've already been thinking in my mind, but I never got the chance to even think about making a YouTube channel. But the fact that you were saying everything I was saying, I'm going to keep listening to this guy. And so that's why I got kind of like addicted to your channel. I'm like, I like this guy. He's saying everything correct. Why suffer? You know, I have the most beautiful women to come. I have one coming later today. And you can really date younger women. You can date women 20, 25 years your junior, and that's normal here in Latin America. You guys probably already know that. And they'll come by.
Professor J, you about to set it off.
They'll come by, they'll bring you some food, they'll cook you some food. They're beautiful, they got that beautiful long hair flowing. And I mean flowing all the time, you know. And then you know you're gonna be hitting it really good when it gets time to the bedroom. And they are putting the hammer down. I mean, they have some experience. I mean, and the Steve Harvey rule, the Steve Harvey 90-day rule, I've interviewed or convenient sampled more than, 500 women over my time here. And from the persons who sweep to my dentist who just replaced my tooth. And she told me, I'm not waiting more than 5 days to have sex with anybody. So that Steve Harvey rule is out. Latina women are known for being hot and sensual and even wearing the high heels and their quinceañera with 15-year, when they turn 15 to get their first set of high heels, tacones altos. So that is just a thing that I would love about the MD Mad Bursiver's channel, because he was saying all the things that I wanted to say.
Thank you, brother. You know, because I've been seeing, you know, what's been going on all my life. I've been seeing all the drama, and I've been, you know, you've been observing, and it's like you think, is it me, or is there something wrong with me, or am I actually seeing what I'm actually seeing? Do I actually see the degradation of the community? And I know where the source is, but you're not supposed to speak on it. And then too, you know, because when I was like 20 plus years ago, I didn't give two shits on who dated who. I didn't even think about the politics behind that. I see a black chick, she was with a white guy. I was like, wow, you know, things are changing. You wouldn't have had this back in the day. I said it before, when I was living up north, up in New York, things were segregated. Like, you know, one part of the city was for the Hispanics, and, you know, you had your Italian part, then you have where the blacks were, the east side. This is Buffalo, New York. Then I came to the South, and this was like in the early 90s. I seen brothers walking around with white chicks everywhere, and I'm like, yo, this is the South. This is Confederate flag country, right? So I didn't understand the politics behind, you know, race, different races getting together. And so when I was, like I said, when I see a black chick with a white guy, you know, I just thought, okay, you know, it's the same weight as a black guy being with a white woman or some shit. Nah, it's not. You start searching online, you start trying to find out, you know, all these different subcultures. Then you start to realize there's a whole bunch of politics behind what's chaining black men to the plantation and shit. And I was like, yo, this is some hypocritical shit, because these women are out here talking about. There was this one chick that was still talking this pro-black stuff back like 10 plus years ago. And she was shitting on black men for being with white women. Guess what happened with this chick? I'm sure some of you guys know about it. She was caught in a porno with a white dude running around. It was one of those like dance, one of those like crowd pornos where women sit around in chairs and these dudes come out naked and they just start swinging the ding-a-ling and stuff like that.
Dancing bear, yeah, dancing bear.
Right, and she was in that porno as one of the ladies in the seat, and this white dude's running around swinging some dang-a-lang, and she's pointing on it, swing that dick, swing that, and she's grabbing on it, and I'm like, yo, but you're the pro-black lady. Then you start seeing all the hypocritical shit behind all of that. So that's one of the reasons why I started the channel. Was also because I seen what happened to Tommy Sotomayor. He got hit up with this, you know, the chick he was dating, tried to hold his product and shit like that. Hold on, another story. But yeah, so brothers have to get free, and you know, I just wanted to help progress that.
I refuse to be with the wildebeest. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be with the wildebeest. That's not going to happen.
Man, they gonna try to cancel you, bro.
Man, bro, Aaron Fountain is coming. You know, Aaron and they watching. He coming for you, Professor J.
Yeah, because he's trying to become a professor himself, and so he's going to see you, and he's going to be like, oh yeah, he's going to try to write about you. He's going to look for you. So prepare yourself, brothers.
I'm not gonna suffer with the black women. I'm not going to suffer with that. See, what black women don't understand is not the color of their skin. It is not the hair pigment or the texture of their hair. When we say we don't like the black women, how they act, is about their attitudes, is about their mannerisms, is about their lack of respect for themselves and a lack of respect for their own bodies. It's about a lack of respect for the person who's trying to help them out. If say you're in a couple with them, that's the complete opposite of the Latina women. Latina women will let you lead. You won't have this who's in charge attitude. Problem all the time, because Latina women will let you lead. Of course, if they're going to let you lead, you have to lead. You have to know where you're going, but they will let you lead. Number two, just like you said many times in BD, Latina women are feminine. Femininity, just in the language, the OEI. The O is for masculine, I is for feminine. Just the language itself breeds femininity. When you address a woman, you must make sure that you use the proper words like señorita or amiga. You have to make sure that the words are feminine or masculine. Even if the word is cold, like frío, if you're talking to a woman, that's fría. Are you cold? So women love to be feminine here. There are women on motorcycles here that will have a pink casket or a helmet. They'll have a pink, like, reflective tape. That's what I love. I love feminine, beautiful, pleasant acting women, not the wildebeest. I'm sorry, MBD.
No, don't be sorry. But they're going to be like, yo, you self-hating. You're supposed to stay on this plantation with everybody else. You're supposed to stay locked up dealing with, I'm sorry, Mr. Fountain, but Sasquatch. You're supposed to be dealing with, Thrax the Destroyer. That's what it is. That's pretty much what it is. And I try to hold back on, I'm not really saying, again, I'm not saying specifically African-American females as this is dumb as genetic. It's like you said, is the attitude. It's the attitude. So anybody could carry that attitude. I don't want that in any female that, a brother should be dating, right? But Black men are dealing with this at a high clip in our community, right? So if it's a high clip in the community, it's like you're more prone to heart disease. So you're more prone to die at the hand of a scraggle-daggle. So I want to avoid that, right? And so I understand where it's coming from, and I want to get other brothers to understand where it's coming from. So it's not trying to bash. It's just, I'm trying to warn the next generation of, don't repeat what the previous generation did, the cycle the previous generation did in dealing with this plantation mindset. Just free yourself from that. And of course, the big solution is you're gonna have to change who you dating, because that's where it comes from. Because like who you date is politics, right? So if you're dating this particular person that comes from this particular culture, they're gonna want to see certain type of movies. They're gonna expect you to listen to certain type of music. You're gonna have to go to certain type of clubs. You're gonna have to eat at certain type of restaurants. You're gonna have to vote a certain type of way. Do you understand? You're gonna have to worship a certain type of way. That's you're gonna be on the plantation because this is how they think. So yeah, anybody else got something else to add?
Yeah, MVD. I'm interested just to hear his opinions. Maybe in another interview, or if he has time now. So far as what you were talking about, so far as the dating and how that relates to a Black man's mental health.
Oh, well, if I were to say one thing, I would say pleasure. If I were to say, you go from being completely maligned, worrying about whether, just like MBD stated, is this person's ex-boyfriend or ex-husband going to come to your house or see you out someplace and try to shoot you? Or is she going to put you in a situation because she's acting all wild and woolly? When you're dealing with Latina women, they're much more reserved. Remember when I stated earlier, tranquila, or tranquilas for women. When you're dating them, you feel pleasant. You see a beautiful woman who's acting and talking to you pleasantly. She's letting you lead. There's no bumping of the head. Well, I want to do this, or I want to do that. She'll let you lead. That brings down 50% of the stress already. She's not trying to combat you. She's trying to get along with you. And when you have that, plus the beauty and the mentality also trying to, yes, if you want to do that, that's fine. Would you like for me to rub your back? Would you like for me to cook you some food? Let's go to bed now. I want to please you. They're in the service of trying to please you, not in the service of trying to combat you and trying to be the person who's the boss at every single turn and corner. That makes your life so much easier, so much more comfortable. That's what I would say.
Well, if no one's going to speak, Professor Jay, I'd like to intervene and ask a question about Costa Rica.
Yes.
So I'm a very big gym goer, and I'm wondering, do they have a lot of gyms down there? Because what I'm seeing from the photos I'm looking at online, these women seem to be in very good shape.
I tell you, man, you're a very intelligent person. I belong to this gym. It's just opened up about a year or so ago, but COVID-19 brought everything down. That's called inner healing. And I tell you, you practically have to be a supermodel just to go up in that gym. Now, I know that since you're a smart person, you know about the gyms in the U.S. Those wildebeests come up in there. You're a wildebeest up in the gym. But when you're at the gym here, the women that come in there, they are some of the most spectacularly beautiful women you have ever seen. It's like everyone here is already in shape before you even come to the gym. So yes, there are numerous gyms. There's a gym right up less than 500 feet from my house. There's another gym only 2 blocks away. There's tons and tons of gyms here. The problem is the gyms are extremely expensive. The gym I belong to is a new gym. It's very small. It's only one level, doesn't have a pool or anything, but it costs me $100 a month. But I go ahead and go because it's a beautiful new gym, beautiful new equipment, and those women that's just pretty much takes the cake for me. It's like these women are just absolutely fine. And the difference of the women here is they will talk to you. Why will the women talk to you here? Because they don't have that type of mentality of the U.S. And there's so many beautiful women, they really don't have the option to try to be, sedity. They have to say, okay, well, if I want to have a man, I have to talk to somebody because I have so much competition here. And believe me, there is a lot of competition. You think you might have picked a 10. As soon as you turn your head, there's 2 more 10s walking by you, and you turn your head that way, there's 2 more 10s. There is an abundance of beautiful women here, and that is no joke.
Yeah, that's the same with Colombia as well. I mean, you go to places like Barranquilla, it's the same thing, man. You got 8, 9, 10 everywhere you look, doing basic jobs in basic employment. I mean, everywhere you look, man. You know what I mean? Same thing with Medellin as well. I mean, yeah, I completely agree, man. So, I mean, because I've been to Colombia loads of times, man. So I know exactly what you're talking about, man. These women are everywhere. So again, they can't afford to be picky and choosy. I mean, they really gotta show up. They really gotta show proof. I mean, because it's stiff, really stiff competition out there. You know what I mean? So, yep.
Yeah, Professor J, man, my stomping ground is Honduras, bro. And I'll tell you, I learned quickly that you can't feed them American food. You feed them American food, it's like gremlins, bro. They change real quick. But yeah, man, my thing was I got down there, long hair dictionary, started speaking that language, and it was a wrap at that point.
Exactly. Once you can speak Spanish, it's over. It's over. You will have everyone trying to talk to you. And don't forget, the main thing to use down there is WhatsApp. It's not texting, it's WhatsApp. But I'm pretty sure you brothers already know about WhatsApp, the app that you use in order to talk to people for free. Anybody doesn't know about WhatsApp?
Yep. Oh, no, I do.
Yeah, so brothers, it's wide open. Yeah, I know about WhatsApp, but it's wide open, brothers. It's wide open out there. So for you to be able to travel, to do what you want to do, to go where you want to go. I mean, it's right. I mean, this brother out here is doing it. I mean, so I understand. It just takes some planning. You guys gonna have to plan to to get what you want to get, because let me tell you. Let me tell you. Let me see if I can find it here. What's waiting for you out there? What is waiting for you out there? Let me see. I know. You've seen it before. But where is it?
MBD, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna head out. Thank you for having me, Professor J. I sent you an email. Hopefully, we get to connect, and everybody in the chat, man. SYSBM. I'll see y'all later, bro.
Peace.
Hey, salute, man. Right. Salute, man.
Okay, brother, off grid on code. You want to, chime in?
everyone hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We hear you.
Oh man,
what's going on?
Nice to finally meet you. Nice to finally meet you.
It's my first time too.
Code. I just want to clear one thing up. Actually, my name is not off grid on code. That's a mantra that I follow. Mad bus driver. I'm actually your cousin. I'm mad tow operator.
Okay. Okay.
I'm just go ahead. I'm listening in. I'm being a fly on the wall. I'm at work, as you can see. I think you're doing excellent work, brother. Excellent.
Well, thank you. I'd like
to be able to speak more, but for right now, as I said, I'm just gonna go ahead and have to be a fly on the wall and listen in, gentlemen, and know that you have my support.
All right, no problem, bro. Thanks. Okay. All right. Let's see. We got some.
MBD.
Yes, go ahead.
Quick question for you. I remember a while ago you did a live stream and there was a guy in here that went by the name of I think it was Antonio something. Do you remember him by any chance?
I think I might. What's going on? What's up?
I just wanted to know if he had a YouTube channel because I like the stuff he had to say.
And I don't know. I haven't checked that out. I mean,
if you don't remember, it's no worries.
I mean,
I think it was Antonio Esteban or something.
Yeah,
I think that was,
that
yeah. He was spitting fire, man. He was spitting some serious fire, mate. You know what I mean,
I'm sure he has I don't know if he has content, but he has a channel.
Yeah,
so I mean, you might want to type in Antonio, but then again, there'd be a whole bunch of them like that.
Right.
Yeah, Kirigaki Jones, what's up?
Konnichiwa.
Brother Jones, is you out there? I know you out there, but you're probably busy right now. Anyways, that's what's waiting for you out there, right? What's going on, brother?
What's going on, Lord High Commander, esteemed panel, ladies and gentlemen of the Senate?
Yes, sir.
So, what do you think about the Scraggle Daggle declaring war on brothers on TikTok?
There's nothing they can do. It's too late. I mean, we're looking at sexual selection taking place in real time. There's no rules. There's no regulations. There's nothing to stop the brothers from getting with the type of female that they want. And sadly for the Daggle, it's not them. So it is what it is.
Yo, Kirigakure, I got a question for you now that I have you in here.
What's going on?
So, and Professor J, if you want to chime into this, that'd be great as well. Your intel could probably be provided. But so I am potentially going to be working in the Air Force sometime in the near future. And just for one, why not serve the country and do something with my life, right? But number two, I also just want to get that chance to, travel the world, right? Get to all these different countries, this, that, and so forth. And just from listening to live streams, looking at pictures, this, that, and so forth, it seems like when you're in the armed forces, you definitely get to see a lot and you have a good supply of options, this, that, and the other. Assuming your brother takes care of himself and is in shape, like myself. Now, you being in Japan, I'm sure they have plenty of military bases over there. That being said, I would like to know, well, I don't know if you're in Japan, but you're just married to a Japanese woman, right?
Yeah, we live here in the U.S.
Okay. Have you been to Japan?
Multiple occasions.
Beautiful. If you could make, how do I put this? I would like to ask you, when it comes to your experiences, I don't know if she's the first Japanese woman you've been with, this, that, and so forth, but I would like to ask you, when it comes to that cultural dynamic, would you say that, I guess, tattoos are a huge problem out there?
They can be, yeah. So if you go to places like onsen or different types of areas like that, in the old days, the only people who had tattoos were Yakuza.
Right.
So even today, a lot of those type of places, they want you to cover up your tattoos. I had a friend of mine in college. She was a lady of fair skin, Western European descent, and she had big breasts, like a sour melon, but that's beyond the scope of the video. She had a big old butterfly tattoo on her back, so she had to get a big old piece of tape and cover it up. So yeah, they can be pretty strict on that. Now, not every place is like that though, and if your tattoos are small enough, you might want to get something to try to cover it up. But I would say maybe talk to the owner or the proprietor, maybe get somebody, if you have Japanese friends, to kind of negotiate that, then maybe you can get past it. But yeah, some people really have difficulties with that.
Okay, thank you.
Did you have anything specific for me about tattoos or anything?
Not about the tattoos, but I wanted to ask in regards to the gym culture thing that you mentioned. So when it comes to the standard out there, because I had met a Ukrainian girl that kind of put me onto this about how surprised she was when she came to the US and seeing how a lot of the girls are here. And she was kind of like, back at home where I'm from, it's kind of similar to like what you said about Costa Rica. It's so much different, right? When you go to the gym, all the girls are in shape and it's just kind of normal. It's the expectation. Whereas you come here and it's like, these girls just don't really feel any kind of need to try to compete at all. It just doesn't really matter because the guys seem to have lower standards. So going out to Costa Rica, do you feel as though, generally speaking, there is a higher bar set just from the way these girls are brought up, just by their parents and this, that, and so forth?
I don't think it has to do with the parents. I just think it has to do with just the competition around you. One thing I really notice about Costa Rica is that there's a lot of what they call celos. Celos is jealousy. Why is there jealousy? Because there's so much competition. There's plastic surgery here is very, very cheap. And the reason why is somebody's just trying to get one level up over the other because there's so many beautiful girls. There's so many girls with such great bodies and such great hair. You have to do whatever you can to get the somewhat edge. Also, the population here, there's 60% women and only 40% men. But that also adds to the fact of you have to be in shape because there's so much competition to get a mate if you're a heterosexual person. Now, recently, Costa Rica approved gay marriage, and they also approved gender, non-binary gender on the driver's license. However, that might be something they show on the news, but living here on the ground, I will tell you that this is a Catholic country and they're very, very heterosexual here. And they also have marches against homosexuality here, which I found very surprising because everybody wears all white. But getting back to your question, I think it's just the fact that there's just a lot of competition here.
So let me ask this then. Let me say it like this. So how like in the US with like all this mainstream feminism stuff going on, you see a lot of movements like, for example, like fat acceptance or body positivity, right? So being in Costa Rica, if a girl was overweight, would she get shamed for it?
Yep. The simple answer, absolutely. The parents will be ashamed. The family will be ashamed. The friends will be ashamed. She probably won't have any other friends except for other fat friends. Competition here for mates is very, very stiff. So most likely they don't want to be associated with that. Like they say, birds of a feather flock together, and that is definitely the case here in Costa Rica. However, I would like to say something to MBD. He was talking about Honduras, or somebody else was saying Honduras was their place. Yeah, someone else. I love those girls from Nicaragua. Those girls from Nicaragua have this extremely bronze, shiny brown skin and the darkest, shiniest hair. I mean, they are just some beautiful girls, and they have great attitudes too. But I'm sorry, I diverted from your question. But no, the fat women will not be accepted that much here. It's not very highly liked.
So they will check them, basically. Long story short.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the same thing in Asia. So I had a ex, she was from Korea, born and raised. So whenever she would go back in between semesters, she would go home, she would sit in her house for like 2 or 3 weeks until like the American fat came off. Because like the way our foods are, there's a lot of processed foods. So it just puts pounds on them. Yep. And I would probably go so far as to say that you really don't know what a lot of ladies truly look like until you meet them in the home country, because they look 1,000% different because they come over here and the food just blows them up. So anyway, my ex was sitting in the house for like 2 or 3 weeks because she was embarrassed. She would go to the store at night. So like she wouldn't run into anybody, you know what I'm saying? Because she knew what the deal was. They would check her for that.
Brothers, this is why I love showing these videos. Did you not see the whole deep field of different type of Asian chicks these different type of brothers are pulling? That's just brothers, and with Asian, which is supposed to be one of the hardest groups for a brother to tap into, right? So my man is down there in Costa Rica. He's mopping the floor up down there. So I mean, because Latinas aren't as resistant to the brothers as you would see from the Asian cultures. And it's all about numbers, brothers. It's all about numbers. So when somebody hits you with most of the Asian chicks like these white girls, you're not dating most of the Asian chicks. You're dating, you're one guy. So if there's a billion, Asian chicks out there, right? And only 5% will get with brothers. 5% of a billion is what? Somebody run the numbers on that. For one dude, that's plenty of chicks. Do you understand? That's just one group. So now if you're going to South America, where they're more open to accepting towards black men, with those Latin countries and stuff like that. What is his name? Charles Taylor went out there to Brazil. He tried to start a community. Brothers are making moves. You just got to stop, allowing these, the beast of the field, the hard-faced broad, the angry ladies that are always mad on the internet everywhere, all day, every day, because of black man's choice, to scare you. Yo, there's like 236 people right now. I know many of you guys is like, yo, I want to, make some moves. You can't, especially if you're a single guy. Stack up your paper. Find something, find something that'll, get you some money, do an online business, whatever it is, to generate some income, because you don't need a lot to make that move if you're trying to make that move. Anyways, that's just my little rant for.
Well, MBD, I want to add something else to you. I hope that everybody doesn't get mad.
Go ahead.
Another great thing about living here is, I don't want anybody to get mad, is I don't have to worry about the brothers. The violence, I mean, remember when I couldn't get on because I was in the hospital for 2.5 months because I had a bacterial infection on my toe. I lost my toenail and everything else, almost died from sepsis. So I was gone for a long time and I was battling it. However, as soon as I got back to the US, the problems start. You get the smart aleck person when I get the rental car. You got the police officers harassing you. You got the brothers in the hospital who are CNAs giving you a hard time. I even had a guy want to fight me just because I existed. I wanted to sit at a table. He says, you can look at me angry, but you ain't going to do stuff because I'm going to kick your butt. I'm like, where is this coming from? And then you got the angry faces, the perpetual angry faces of the black women for no good reason. I'm like, I cannot wait to get my butt back to Costa Rica immediately. I cannot take the stress. The police aren't trying to kill you. The police aren't trying to put every single piece of force that they have on their tool belt on you. The police are much more genteel. The police are trying to help you. They're actual peace officers as compared to the US where they're trying to take a piece of your ass. But the brothers, just like I said, black on black crime is the worst, and they're not lying. I got there, so many conflicts. Everybody's got to win. Everybody's got to be number one. Everybody's got to brag. And that's another great thing about Costa Rica. All this materialism stuff does not exist here. You can have the big Maybach Benz. They don't care. They want to say, what is your family? How good of a person are you? That's what they want to know. They're not concerned about these material things because most people don't even make that much money. So that's another great thing to relieve that daily grind, that daily keeping up with the Joneses. It does not exist here too. But the great thing is you don't have to worry about the stress of some brother coming up and trying to beat your butt or kick your or key your car or all these other things or fight you for menial type causes and the police not trying to kill you. Hate to do that little rant, MBD, but
No problem, bro. No problem.
That's a good point. I'd like to piggyback off that. So what Professor Jay is saying is when you leave this country, you have the opportunity to have deep relaxation. When I go to Japan, when I roll to the onsen, and I'm in that hot spot and I'm looking outside and the mountains and the trees and everywhere is out there, and I'm sipping on sake like a boss, you know what I mean? That is deep relaxation. Because over here, you got to keep your head on swivel. People are upset. I think a lot of times, a lot of the dudes, unfortunately, are sexually deprived. They're deprived of feminine companionship and the opportunity to, do what they do. So, of course, they're upset. Of course, they're mad. Not all of them, but many of them. But when you leave this country, you will have relaxation from your head to your toes. I can't really describe it to you unless you've been there and done that. Yeah. But it is worth it. It is worth however much you need to pay to get your passport, your plane ticket, and to roll out.
Yes.
Yes, because this is who they really choose right here. So you can send that to that broad. This is who they really choose. Ain't none of these chicks right here is low quality. Because that's the myth that they tell you. See, that's why I make these videos. That's why I put these images to combat that myth that brothers can only get the bottom of the barrel when you go overseas. Because that's what they're telling you when you leave this country, you're getting low quality companionship, but apparently not these brothers aren't. That's not true. The ones that are even in the States, it's not true. I mean, some guys are catching, an albino gorilla every now and then, but even the albino gorilla, he be putting in work with that albino gorilla. She's telling other chicks, that aren't so big, hey, you could get, the brother out here can lay that pipe, and the next thing you know, he ended up with something like this. But he had to start from the bottom, and now he's here. Anyways, what's up? We got Pablo Frescobar. What's up going on, brother?
What's going on, MBD? Great to be on the show with you.
Right,
I've been an international traveler since 2005. Is Trey still on here? Trey Mack?
No, I don't think. Yeah, he probably did.
But anyway, yeah, I've been married to a Latina for 7 years. So everything everything the professor is saying about Latin America is absolutely true. Matter of fact, I'll be in Medellin, Colombia this Thursday, and I'll be there for about a week. But
oh man, you got flights over there?
Huh?
Yeah, they
got flights going over there?
Yeah, they opened up, man. They
that's good, man.
They opened up on the 21st of September. They opened up
good,
Medellin.
man. That's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, man, it's a shame to say this, but it is what it is. I get more love as a black man outside of the country than I do in it. And one of the brothers was saying earlier, black men have a brand outside of the United States that is better than our brand inside. And black women have a brand outside of the United States that is not really that great.
Yep.
It's not a good one. Ours is much better. And here's the reason why. Black men going all the way back to World War I in the military have been traveling the world and kind of been our representation. Guys in sports like Muhammad Ali, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Steph Curry, all kinds of international leaders like Kofi Annan, Barack Obama. It just goes on and on. Will Smith, Denzel Washington, Tupac. I've been in back streets in the Dominican Republic and seen murals of Tupac. So our brand and our representation outside of the United States is much greater. I've sat at a beachside bar in Fortaleza, Brazil, and heard nothing but Motown music all day. So our representation and brand to the world is much better and much different than black women's. They kind of are stuck and relegated to right here when it comes to dating and mating. They aren't as pliable. Yeah, they aren't as pliable as we are when it comes to being international. I've noticed that for sure.
Well spoken.
You see, there's another brother that's been overseas, South America, confirming what the professor has stated.
Now, Pablo.
Yes, sir.
I guess I'm going to start that YouTube channel, MBD.
Yeah, yes, you do. I'm
going to start it because I'm tired of the false narratives. I'm going to tell people what the real deal is from somebody who's actually living here, not somebody just here on vacation, not somebody here who hears it from their buddies, not somebody here who just reads it on the internet or maybe reads a book. Someone who's living a daily, 24/7, 365 day a year life here. I'm
Yeah,
probably going to
yes, you
start
do.
that YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'll subscribe to that. So go
I
ahead.
sure
Somebody was
will.
going to ask Pablo a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask Pablo, how you traveling all over the place?
Well,
Like in the
here's the
military?
deal. I do two things. I have a 9 to 5 job. I work for local government. I'm a building inspector. The other thing, to help support and fund my my travel, I drive Uber and Lyft. So when I'm not sitting, rather than sitting around and watching the football games on Sunday and stuff like that, I get up and I go out and I make a little extra and I put it away.
Got it.
And on the weekend. So that's kind of how I fund my travel. So I take about 2 or 3 trips a year. And like I said, my wife is Dominican, so I speak a little Spanish. So yeah, that's what I like to do. And it's my goal in about 10 years I'll be able to retire. So it's my goal to either move to Dominican Republic or to Colombia. So
If you
being
go
a
to
friend of
Colombia,
mine.
I'll be your friend.
What's that?
I'm sorry, I have a friend in Colombia. If you go to Colombia, I'll come down there to see you because it's only like a little 1 hour, 1.5 hour flight.
Yeah,
I've been to Medellin a million times.
So have you been to Sweet Georgia Browns? That's a restaurant.
Yeah, I went there. I got my American breakfast. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I got a friend named Sly. I went there to get because that's the place for the best American breakfast. So I have my hash browns and waffles and the limonada de coco. Oh my God, that is delicious. I never knew it existed until I went there. Oh my God.
Yeah, so that's owned by a brother from right here in Atlanta. He owns Sweet Georgia Browns, and it's like the American expat hangout on Mondays down in Medellin. So
yes, I was there. You knew I was there because I stayed at the American breakfast, I had my limonada de coco. So if I was a liar, I wouldn't be able to tell that.
yeah, you on it. You on it. You the real deal.
You see what he just said? I mean, did you guys realize he said it was owned by a black man from what you said from Atlanta, right? That means there's a community of brothers already down there.
There is.
Well, I gotta say,
plug into.
NBD, I gotta say, I'm sorry to interject.
No, go ahead.
Medellin is just like New York City. There's tons of black people in Medellin, Colombia. I mean, it is tons of black people in Medellin, Colombia. You think you'd be walking down the streets of New York City?
I went to a Afro-Colombian nightclub called Jenny Lau. It's called Jenny Lau is the name of the nightclub. You talking about some beautiful. When you go there, and when you go sometimes to Dominican Republic or Colombia, Panama, there are other places as well that Afro Latinas, inhabit. You will see what our women would look like if they weren't so obese.
That's real.
That's what I was saying earlier, because the American diet, the American environment, it adds at least 10 to 15 pounds to the typical woman. If you take her to pretty much any place else and she drops that weight, then yeah, that's when you see the true revelation. Plus, of course, the attitudes, the femininity, it's just off the charts.
Off the charts, sure enough. And yeah, so there's a couple of reasons for that. Diet, there's culture. In Colombia, they have every Sunday in Medellin, they block off the streets and people do nothing but exercise. They ride their bikes, they run, they walk. It is a part of the culture. And you're talking about in Brazil, everybody every day after work is running up and down the streets, going to gyms, working out. It's baked into the cake that you be fit and look good. It's a part of the culture, especially for women. If you're fat as a woman in Latin America, they will clown you mercilessly. They will call you gorda. They will call you gorda, gordita.
Exactly.
Which means fat. They don't say you BBW. They don't say you're pleasantly plump. They call you gordita. You're fat.
Yep.
Wow, that's some nice cakes.
He's telling the truth. He is telling the truth.
Yeah, and it's the same in Japan. They don't mess around over there because the family get on them, friends get on them, people on the street might get on them too. So yeah, they don't play that.
Hey, Mr. Jones, will they say you need to eat vegetables?
Well, they be at the crib, you know, and a lot of the Japanese girls, well, not a lot of them, but some of them will eat like rice and kimchi until they get any excess weight off. But yeah, it's a whole different environment, literally, when you kind of get on the plane and get in country.
Yep.
Well, I tell you, I go to the park every day to exercise, and I see brothers, and just in my little bitty neighborhood, with a Latina practically every time I go to the park. Matter of fact, I see at least 5 or 6 couples just in my little neighborhood of a brother with a Latina. Latinas love the brothers in all of Latin America. I don't care what anybody say, and it's a fantasy. And especially shown here when I go to any place in the country, and it's a very small country, it's only 5 million people, but there are the women who just love the brothers. Now, somebody, I think it was a guy just posted a comment, says, Jesse says, if you're over 6 foot, they'll think you're a basketball player. Well, I'm 6'5" and I'm 205 pounds, but no one ever thought that I was a basketball player. So I thought that was kind of ironic.
I think in Asia that might be true. I saw some brothers who were in Thailand and they were walking around, and several of the guys were 6'3" and over, and they were constantly got barraged with, you know, oh, you play basketball, you play basketball. So I think in Asia that is a thing.
Yeah, I know when I go down to Colombia, they always asking, yeah, where you come from? Estados Unidos, Estados Unidos. No, Inglaterra. You know what I mean? All the time, man. They always think I come from the United States. And no, Londres. You know what I mean? They seem kind of shocked. You know what I mean? Because obviously, like, they've been exposed to American culture most of the time. You get me? They don't really hear anything about like the UK and blacks there and all that business. So, yeah, man. When they what they say? They donde eres? I mean, I say Inglaterra. I mean, it's just that puzzling look. You know what I mean?
Hey, Burbs, I got a question for you, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
My first question, well, I guess I have two, a compound question. First question is, why does the UK have a reputation for having the ugliest women in the world? And two, are the black women in the UK exactly the same as the black women in the US?
Well, first question is, I mean, it's like the first question is, no. Well, women here in the United Kingdom, I mean, you got all kinds of varieties, man. I mean, you got all kinds of varieties. So that's nothing I've heard personally myself. You know what I mean? I mean, especially if you come into London, London's just a melting pot. You know what I mean, but yeah, you got. I mean, what now? If you're talking about the black women here, now you got an issue. Yeah, they got the ugliest. They're the ugliest women here. I mean, I walk down my local streets, man, and I'm just like, bloody hell. I look at a black woman, and then I look at a white or Hispanic or a Latina woman. I mean, or an Asian woman or an Indian woman, because where I live, there's a high population of Indians. And I'm like, oh man, these black women are finished. They're done, man. It's a wrap. Damn wrap, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, you've got so much of a variety here, man. I mean, so much of a variety. But these women here are not ugly, man. No, you got some very good looking women here, and you got all kinds of shades and varieties, obviously depending on where you are in the country. But to answer your second question, yeah, they're exactly the same. These black women are exactly the same over here. It's the same thing. It's no different. I mean, they wear the weave. I mean, you've got a lot of African women over here. They're engaging in the skin bleaching big time, you know. You see, look at the feet are black. You look at the hands are black. Then you look at the face is all blotchy, and it just looks, it's like, what do you call it? It's just so out of place, man. I mean, you can see, like, what's wrong with this woman? Is she sick? You know what I mean? Has she got leprosy or something? See, this is the problem. Yeah, man, this is the problem with a lot of these women, man. They engage in this practice because they're trying to make their skin look lighter. You know what I mean? But the thing is, it's like, the skin looks lighter, but it doesn't suit you. People can see that there's something wrong. That skin tone doesn't suit you. They immediately see, well, you know what? Something's abnormal about this. So yeah, they're engaging in that. They're wearing the weave. They got the same attitude, nasty attitude. I mean, but the thing about over here in the United Kingdom, as I've mentioned before, is there are many more black men dating out. It's 55% and rising, man. That's the dating out ratio here. So I mean, I think it's 80. I think it's 80 something percent Caribbean black men, and then it's 30 something percent African black men who are dating out. So it's on average, it averages out to about 50, 55%, and it's just rising. You know what I mean? So black men over here, we dipped early, man. You know what I mean? Because we grew up rough, exactly how you guys in the States grew up. You know what I mean, with dealing with black women, it's exactly the same thing. I mean, it's no different. I mean, this is why I keep saying. See, this is when that what's his name, D Darrell, or as I call him, derailed, as he keeps saying, what do you call it? He keeps talking about, no, you can't talk about these black American women because you know what I mean. You've had a very limited experience of black American women. I say, look, bro, I have to keep reminding the dude, man, this black female dysfunction is an international problem, man. It's not just local. It's not just secluded to one area. I mean, the United States. It seems that the United States seems to have the worst type of black woman, but it's not just secluded to them. I mean, look, you got Africa. Look how big the weave industry is in Africa. Look how big the skin bleaching is industry is in Africa. I mean, most of the skin bleaching products are sold to Nigerian women. I mean, where I come from. So I mean, it's a big problem. It's international, man. See, these guys, they want to basically localize the problem. So then they think, oh, right, I can stop him talking about our women in quotation marks. But I say, no, bro, it's international, man. You know what I mean? You're not going to look, you're trying to patronize you know what I mean? You're trying to be patriotic about it. Oh, well, no, I'm going to stand up for our black women over here. Okay. But there's black women over here who copying your black women over there. It's the same thing. It's international, man. You can't.
They're just trying to do that because they think it'll gain them some points with some local women on some pussy. That's all.
Right.
They don't believe that.
It's a rap in the streets when the old Chinese lady is looking for the black bamboo in Chinatown. Do you understand? When the old China lady is scooping up an old brother, because she wants that old black dang-a-lang in Chinatown. Like this right here is a snapshot of a Chinese guy who walks through New York City. He walks through New York City just filming, and he was in Chinatown, and I've seen several of them. But the guy likes to turn his camera every time he sees these couples and stuff like that. It's like he's scared to show them on camera. But I caught one, so I took a screenshot. But this isn't the only one. I got several other screenshots of these Asian chicks who don't give a damn in their own Chinatown walking around with black men. But I also like to make a declaration for anybody out there that think that MBD is just a dude who collects photos of random ladies. Every single chick that I show, every single one of them, if you see them by themselves, you can rest assured they're with a brother. At the time of that the photo was taken, they had one in the oven, had a kid, getting married, or dating a black guy. I'm going to have to take this call, so you guys go on ahead.
Yeah, it's for me what the brother was saying from the UK is it's cultural. Western culture infects women with certain entitlements, right? And so from there, it's a slippery slope. They just feel they can present themselves in any kind of way, and you'll have to accept it. So it doesn't matter if you're in the US or the UK. It's the same culture, the same cultural messages that they're receiving. So it doesn't really matter where you're at in terms of that. Now, some places are less infected than others, but the UK is damn sure the twin brother of the USA.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, most definitely. You know what I mean? You can throw Canada in there as well. You know what I mean? So
And
I mean,
all
all the Commonwealth countries, man. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. No matter where you go, where you got these black women, and even in Western Europe as well. Because remember, like, what do you call it? See, with you guys in the America, you guys are basically you're homegrown. Yeah, a few of you are brought over for slavery. You know what I mean? But most of you, that's your actual country. That's your origin point. I mean, but in the United Kingdom now, we come from either Africa or the Caribbean. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just the dysfunction is everywhere, man. You see it. I mean, you got the African women engaged in the dysfunction over there, and they bring the same dysfunction over to the United Kingdom, or they go to some other country in Europe like France, Belgium, Spain, or something like that, and they bring their dysfunction over there, man. But yeah, I actually see it with my own eyes, man. Black women overweight. I mean, walking down the street, ridiculous color weaves in their hair. You know what I mean? Tattoos, just tattoos galore. They look like a street map. You know what I mean? It's like, what the heck? What's wrong with these women, man? I mean, it's like, oh man. And then basically they're still trying to give you the attitude. It's like, they give you the attitude, but then wonder, as soon as you basically go into some other woman, all of a sudden they got a problem with you, like as if you're, again, like what you said, you're supposed to take the attitude, you're supposed to accept it. No, I mean, this is the way I am. This is the way you've got to accept me. I said, no, I'm not interested. I mean, I walked away from black women, in 2005, man, and I haven't looked back since. Now, I wish I'd have walked away a lot earlier. I talked to some of the brothers who comment on my website, and they're talking about, oh man, I haven't dated black women at all. I walked away from black women like when I was really young. I'm like, oh man, I wish I was in that position. But better late than never, as the saying goes.
Correct. And this is why we have the war on TikTok, because I mean these Generation Zs, they know what the deal is. You know, they
right here. Take a look at it.
Yeah, you're not gonna tell them anything differently. I mean, you can try to blame and shame them as much as you want. You know, I'm a Gen Xer. You know, us Gen Xers, we went through HE double hockey sticks. You know, you a coon, you a bed buck, sell out. You know, all that other type of stuff. But I mean, we just kept doing our thing, most of us. But these younger brothers off top, they know what the deal is, because it's obvious, it's clear, it's apparent. You can compare and contrast. There really is no competition.
Yeah, they're not even on the playing field. They're complaining from the sidelines. They're not on the playing field.
There's only one thing that I believe.
That's where the butthurt comes from, because I mean, if you really think about it, I mean, there's nothing they can do. I mean, back in the day, they had the Klan, they had the law, they had public opinion, they had the institutions behind them, but now it's just unfettered free market access, and they can't deal with that.
Yeah, but also back in the day, they also had Pam Grier. They had many role models of black women that were slim, that had their own natural hair. I am a baby boomer, and I'm used to seeing the natural hair. Matter of fact, having the natural during the days of Soul Trains, the bigger the natural, the more cool you were. If you couldn't grow a natural, you were talked about like, you can't, you got a little short fro. But when you had this big gigantic fro, you were the coolest person with your stacks and your bell-bottom clothes. But there's only one thing I think that could change the attitudes or change what happens with the black women in the UK, Canada, or the US. And the one word that I think could change that is for black men to have standards. When you don't have any standards, the black woman will just maintain the way that they are, and they're just going to say, hey, you don't have any standards for the way I act? Okay, I'm going to keep acting this way. You don't have any standards for the way I eat? I'm going to keep eating the same way. If you don't have any standards for me putting all these tattoos on it, okay, I'm gonna keep putting these tattoos on. If you don't have any standards for all this ridiculous horsehair weave, I'm gonna keep doing it. If you don't have any standards for all my big weight, I'm looking like a walking wildebeest, then I'm gonna keep on doing it. As soon as the black men have standards, and that's the only thing that can force these women into doing somewhat kind of a change. But when you're just horny and you don't have any standards, you say, forget it, I'm just going to go ahead and do it because it's here, it's never going to change.
But what's the tipping point? Here goes the thing. What's the tipping point for the standards? Because you see, these brothers right here have the standards. The brothers I'm showing you have the standards, but there's so many other brothers out there that are still brainwashed. They got their mama's titty in their mouth that, you know, that they can't. Man. Yeah, it's their mama's titty in their mouth. It's metaphorically, they're still sucking on their mama's titty. They haven't gone into the man's house to become a man. So because of that, they've been programmed to learn how to talk to their mama. Hey, sweet juicy mama. Hey, sweet daddy. All of that sassy, frassy, you know, jive talking bullshit with each other. And it's all that fake love. And it only stay together because they have an outside enemy, white supremacy. The system is oppressing me. If you take away all of that, you have no excuses. They're going to tear each other apart because a dude, he's only saying those things to appease the monster that's within her, because that was his mama. Yeah. And the facts that that's his mama. His mama has mentally, she told the boy when he was young, when he was 8, he was the man of the house. What the hell is he going to do at 8 to be a man of the house? He can't work. He can't cook. Well, he can barely clean. What is he doing? He's only going to emulate. What do you see these other dudes that are coming up, laying in the bed, coming through every now and then do? Slang some dang-a-lang and talk to the lady, talk to mama. He learned how to speak to mama in a way to get what he needed. Oh, mama, that's. I was at the chicken shop like 2 weeks ago. I was at the chicken shop, right? We ordered chicken, right? And this lady comes in with this other lady, the African-American females. They're sitting down with their kids. And this grown woman, I swear to God, she's got an infant. She's trying to feed the infant chicken wangs and fries.
Are you kidding me?
No, the kid is choking. The child is choking and crying. Then she had an older boy who's about 8 or 9, and she's telling him, "You better eat, because if you don't eat, you ain't gonna eat nothing, there, boy." And the way she's talking to him is like she's gonna put the elbow to his face. And she had an older daughter, and the daughter, of course, she's got allowing the daughter to wear the tightest ass pants she could possibly wear, leggings at like 10, 11 or something. So you're seeing this child's body form, and you're trying to wonder how old is this kid, right? And then the mama's wearing spandex or leggings and stuff like that when she's not supposed to, because she's got the super gut. And then she got her other girlfriend, and they're sitting there. You like, yo, this boy ain't got no chance. The daughter ain't got no chance. She's gonna end up pregnant young. But the boy, if he doesn't free himself, if he don't get it quick, he's gonna get locked into the cycle because his mom is a beast out here, choking her son, her boy, her youngest, her infant boy, with some chicken. That was crazy. That was some crazy ass shit.
I don't want to interrupt, but who's this? Who was the last guy, dark skinned dude in the photo? He had a suit on.
This guy right here.
Yeah. Who's that?
He's an actor.
Yeah,
the
actor.
Like Lost. He was in Lost, and he was in what's that other? Damn. Huh? You know the TV show Lost? You know the TV show Lost from ABC's Lost from back.
But wasn't he in Oz? Was he in Oz?
Yes, he was also in Oz.
I forgot his name. He's been around quite a bit.
Right. Yeah.
He got a smooth lady.
Yeah, he's been with her for a while. He's been with her. The other dude, this not the same. No, this not the guy that was in Speed. That was the other brother that was in Speed. The first Speed.
Harold something.
He was in the Matrix as well, isn't it? Yeah.
He was also in the Matrix. Yeah.
All right, thank you. That's all I need to know.
Yeah, you'll find them. Yeah. But there's a lot of little cats is out there. So they be in the movies. They thinking these brothers is, because they get mad. They get mad at your boy Killmonger because they think he's supposed to be pro-black and stuff, and then he's out here hollering at these white ladies. It's just it's Looney Tunes. It's Looney Tunes. The culture is Looney Tunes, my brothers. The culture is Looney Tunes.
Hey, MBD, I got another question for you because I really like your channel. That's why I'm talking to you right now, you guess. But another thing I really like is that you stated that there was a lack of femininity in the black women. And I'm sorry to have to say that, but it's just true. Where do you think this lack of femininity came from, and when did it start? Where did this lack of femininity come from? I mean, from the way they approach it, and from the way that their bodies are.
The excuse is that the men ain't around, so the women have to be the men type shit. But even though the state is supplying the money that the men would be there to supply, the state supplies it, so that's not an excuse. The where it's coming from is a lot of inbreeding, brothers. That's what it is. A lot of dudes. I mean, this is like we're third generation in on this shit. Each new generation of females are coming in harder and harder and harder in the face, and that's because they're sleeping with their own cousins. They're sleeping with their half brothers and sisters. Because I mean, Papa's a Rolling Stone. Wherever he lays his hat is his home. Okay, so if Papa's a Rolling Stone, wherever he lays his hat is home. But we know Papa don't have a car. Papa is walking around a certain square block radius. If he wants to go to the mall, he has to catch a bus or he has to have a girl drive him. Papa is sleeping with these ladies. Papa's sleeping with the girl down the street, plus the girl he's got in the house, her house, plus he's been messing around with the girl around the corner. He's got 6 or 7 kids by 6 or 7 different women who all go to the same, those kids all go to the same school, grow up, mate with each other, right? And then they have children. And the culture promotes, the masculine, aspect of the women. So these women are the ones who are birthing the most children. It's a natural selection.
Ugh.
So it's like if I hate to go down there, but if you're breeding dogs, right? If you're breeding cats or you're breeding horses, you're looking for a certain specific trait. Well, our community, the cultural zeitgeist of the community, is looking to promote the most macho and manliest of the females to the top of the pile, to have the most children, and shame the most feminine of the females to where they have to emulate and degrade themselves. So I don't know if it's coming to the point where it's genetic or it's just what you eat, the culture you're around, it manifests itself physically in you. It could be both. It could be two separate things.
And it's that feminism as well. Let's not omit that feminism had a big part to play in it as well. Because I've always stated that these black women today, they have a mutant form of feminism. So they took the feminism that was given to them by white women, and then basically they've mutated it. It's a different form. It's several layers deeper, man. That's why that woman, that Gloria Steinem, she turned around and said, "Oh yeah, black women taught me about feminism." And I sat back and watched. I looked at that statement. I said, "What's she talking about?" Oh, right, yeah, because black women are the ones who have taken this feminism to the extreme. I mean, they've taken it way down the road. I mean, and obviously we can't forget about the fatherless home welfare policies as well. That's a part of it as well. Where black women decide, you know what, we don't want this man in the house. We're going to have the government subsidize. You know what I mean? We're going to have the government subsidize us instead. And now what they're trying to do, their latest trick is they want to come around and they want to start talking about, well, I mean, like, we didn't kick all of the men out. Some of the men left and all that. No. In the overwhelming majority of circumstances, at the end of the day, look back. Before government intervention, the men were poor. They weren't, you know what I mean? The majority of the men, they weren't like, what do you call it? They weren't rolling in money and they stuck around. You know what I mean? So how's it that the men were poorer before government intervention and they stuck around? All of a sudden, when the government now, and I mean, comes in, Captain Euro comes in with his check. All of a sudden, you take the check, and you want to talk about, well, these men left. No, you kicked the black man out. You wanted Captain Euro's money, so you got the money, and now you're starting to complain. Now there are no good men around, and I mean, and then you're calling into certain people's shows, live streams, talking about, you know what I mean, trying to act pious and you trying to act humble, trying to basically behave as if you've done nothing wrong and you don't know the reason why you can't find a good man and you don't know the reason why these dudes are going over, black men are going over to other races of women. Now you know what you've done, man. You transgressed. You took on board feminism. You mutated it, right? And then you basically accepted your fatherless home welfare policies, right? So you took Captain Snowy's money and now you're trying to complain and now you're trying to sit there baffled, navel gazing as if you don't know what's going on. They know exactly what's going on, man. They know what the deal is. I mean, but that's their issue. That's their issue. You know what I mean? That's something they have to deal with. They made this putrid bed, and they're gonna have to lay in it.
You know, I was talking to a woman from East Africa. She's from Ethiopia, and we were talking about music, the arts, that kind of thing. And she said we could never have a Beyonce or a Rihanna. And I said, well, why do you say that? She said, because we don't have the cultural freedom as women to express ourselves in that way, in the way that they do. And then she used that song by Destiny's Child called I'm a Soldier. I need a nigga that's street, you know, a nigga that's street and known to carry big things, if you know what I mean. And she, you know, we kind of went over the lyrics of the song. She said, nah, she said, we could never sing that. She said, because we would be frowned upon. They would disown you for trying to express yourself in that way. Your family would be shamed. You wouldn't be able to like go to your local church or be associated in any social event. She said you would be shamed for behaving that way in the public. So there's some cultural things going on that we can't control because we don't control the laws and the United States is a country of individual liberty. And when you have women that you can't control because the culture has given them so many liberties, they're ruined. So you can't bring them into correction because they have all of these liberties that other cultures check, right? They're not going to let them say whatever they want. They're not going to let them, you know, behave towards men in any kind of way. And then also, they're not going to let them choose certain men without ridicule. You can't choose an antisocial, sociopathic male and have the community sign on to it. This is why we have the problem that's going on like in somewhere like Memphis, where you got 3 or 4 guys who've impregnated, who have over 100 children by only like 8 or 10 different women.
Desmond Hatchett?
Yeah.
Is one of them. That's one of the guys.
So, but he's not the only one. It's about 4 or 5 of them like that have somewheres along the line of over 100 children, and it's only 5 or 6 men doing the impregnate.
Yep.
And I want to add to that too, because I've noticed that there's a permutation. So on top of the feminism and everything else, so I found that the new hustle is colorism, is featureism,
Oh yeah.
is texturism, because they're basically saying that you as a brother, if you get with the female from Ethiopia, if she's on the lighter side of the game, if she has quote unquote Eurocentric features, if she's got long natural hair, if it happens to be on the straighter side of the game, they're saying that you can't do that because that's colorist. You're being a featurist. There's even a new one that I heard not too long ago. You're an eyist. So if you're a brother that likes a female with blue, green, gray eyes, whatever, you're an eyist. So they have all these isms and ists. And basically what they're trying to do is to keep you on that plantation. And you have to get with what I call the divine dark-skinned 4CCC, darker than Wesley Snipes, West African feature type of female. And if you don't get with that type of female, you will be dragged on social media. In real life, people will try to stab you. They'll try to do anything they can because they feel like you're violating some sort of moral taboo. It's a permutation, a mutation of that feminist mindset.
That's just wild.
You gotta get with a tribalist woman.
That's right. Yeah. If she's not part of the well, truth is, I know it says the matriarchal pre-approved type of female, you're gonna catch HE double hockey sticks for that. And this is all to drive you to, either be on that plantation or to actually procreate with that certain type of female. And so that's why you don't have that. Those looks are escaping, right? I mean, each generation subsequently, you have more and more females of that particular mindset and background that just aren't comparable. They're just not up to snuff versus other locations and other localities.
Yeah, so it's a brother right here pointed out that even in West Africa, northern parts have tribes that look like East Africans. And he names them out here, the Fulani, the Shua, the Hassa. Yeah, exactly. You can look them up and you will find them have like the Arab mixtures with the African genes. So if they will lose on all fronts. So a brother will go and say, okay, I got to get something only from Nigeria. He'd be like, yeah, brother, go get you something from Nigeria. And then he comes home with something from Nigeria that looks like there's something from Ethiopia. What are they going to say? But all these isms just waters down their argument. It just makes it just background noise. And once it becomes background noise, it's ineffective. And once it's ineffective, you can't bring that back up. It's done. You killed that. Like colorism, that's played out now. Yeah. Right. All these new things are getting played out. It's just getting rubbed out. Because they don't know how to play their cards with it. They overplay their hands on these things. I don't understand. Why they don't understand that. But I don't care if they don't understand it. They can keep doing whatever they're doing. They're just going to keep losing. And brothers is just going to keep doing what they want to do. Like these brothers right here, all day, every day, choosing what they want. They can't compete with this. You're walking down the street with a fake blonde wig on. You're 350, right? With spandex, and you're looking sloppy. You're not competing with this. You're just not competing with what you see here.
Yeah, I remember I wrote my article on colorism, man. Oh man, these slimy heifers came after me, man. Good Lord, man. It's like they were hitting me up in the Twitter. Because like what I do is when I post an article, what happens is it automatically posts the link on Twitter. You know what I mean? So I'm more active on my website than on Twitter, you get me? So yeah, man, they will hit me up on Twitter, man. Like, oh man, Twitter is full of scum bucket ABWs, man. Twitter is full of scum bucket, man.
Twitter's a dumpster fire, but notice, they had that energy because that's their new angle. Because first, once upon a time, they said you can't get with Rebecca because she's gonna call the police on you. They gonna kill you, boy. They had that argument. Then they were like, these brothers was out there doing their thing, and they're still alive, most of them, the vast majority. So then they come up with the colors, and well, you know, your mama black, and you hate yourself, and you're filled with self-hatred and colorism. And then they came out with the texturism, because brothers was going out to the motherland and picking up African ladies, but they said, nope, you're featurist, because that Fulani woman looks like a Becky dipped in chocolate. So then they came up with all this other stuff. I mean, the goal is to limit you to only be with them.
Right. Exactly. The matriarchy.
Yo, I mean, whatever these ladies are eating, maybe this was there, nobody has seen it before, but if they're eating that
good
Bojangles or Popeye's chicken, I don't know what the deal is, but see, this is their ultimate fear. This is why they try to say cultural appropriation while they're wearing a blonde weave. They say cultural appropriation on this girl while they're, you know, trying to pretend to be like this girl, because this is, I mean, she's got the body that they say that they only, you know, come with.
Right.
Do you understand? She's got the features that they say only, you know, the sisters come with. I mean, look at the booty is the P shape. That's not a droplet booty. That's a West African supposed to be type booty right there.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got the slim waist. And she's going to have she's got the European hips on the slim waist with the fat ass. Then add the hair where you don't have to worry about it's just wash and wear. And I mean, it's a wrap, because I mean, normally when you're talking about West African features, so they have the P booty, but they don't have waist. Their waist is narrow. And European women had the waist. So now if you add the ass with the waist, with the hips, sorry, the ass with the hips, the wide hips, I mean, it's, you know, that's that Spanish territory shit right there. So yeah, he's locking this up. He's putting one in the oven, guaranteed. I'm sure she's already got one already to drop, because ain't no damn way.
Is the guy from the Dominican Republic still here?
I think he left. Yeah, I think he's out.
Oh, okay. Well, I think it goes down to two different things. What gives us another part of our problem, and it's great to be SYSBM. And I think it's because of what I call entitlement versus investment. I just notice that so many Black women, especially in the U.S., they have a sense of entitlement. Well, my other boyfriend bought me dinner, so you're supposed to buy me dinner too. Well, my sister did this, and so, or had this happen, so this is supposed to happen to her too. And my friend had this happen, so you're supposed to give me this too. I'm like, well, why? Why should I pay? Why should I do this? Because I exist. I'm spending time with you. When a white women, and I've dated white women since I was in 9th grade, they was put in the investment. And so at the end of the investment, they get the reward. They get the reward of what they really want, which is marriage. So if you put in the investment, like many Black women don't want, they just want to get the entitlement. When you put in the investment, then at the end, you get the reward. And then the Black woman is jealous because the white woman has what she wanted, but she didn't put in any investment. She figured she was entitled to it from the beginning without doing a single thing. And that's just a bad part. And that's what they need to understand when they're trying to look forward to try to find more Black women. The quality, where's all the quality Black men gone to? Well, you know why?
Yeah, it's wide open, brothers, wide open.
Oh yeah.
Like this right here. Like this right here. This once again, this is not supposed to be. You're not competing on this shit. You're just not competing. That's not supposed to be with the. Anyways, that's just a rap out here in the streets. So brothers, I thank you guys for joining me on this live stream. I might do one tomorrow, so stay tuned if you guys are available. I might post one up tomorrow, and so around this time or something like that. Same bad time, same bad channel. So brothers, I greatly appreciate you joining me on this endeavor, and we will keep on pushing with the discussions. So
thank you.
Thanks for joining, everybody, and see you guys later. Peace.
All right. Peace out, man. All right.
Peace out.